You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And it just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just smashed his soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your kick, nigga. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
Let's see if you do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. And go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Dale. I'll see you later. Fight someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. The crowd here on Fuego.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And now Acosta has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was done. Did you like that? I love you.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Ari Gold Boss, Kevin Horn, Hamada, and I think Daniel Lim is lurking in the shadows somewhere looking for some cell phone reception. I hope you guys are well. Ari, I'll start with you. Let's talk about Sergey Kovalev and Mohammedi. I don't think we'll stay on the subject too long. Not much to cover. We didn't really see anything new on Saturday. We just saw another demolition by Kovalev. What did you think of the quick fight, and what do you think about the Stevenson kind of rumours?
The fight, I didn't watch it live. I've only really seen the third round. No, I saw the second round as well. So yeah, it was what I expected. You know, it was a pointless mandatory that. You know, I expect the IBF for that. They're the only ones who force mandatories and they give everyone a fair chance. But, you know, it was a fight we didn't really need to see. Everyone knew what was going to happen beforehand. And I actually picked the right round as well, so I got 60 points in the league. But yeah, the fight, you know, it is what it is. You know, Kovalev got that knockout, he got it done. That's what you do. When you're in there with food, I always say, get him out of there, don't play with it. So that's what he done, he got him out of there. But yeah, I don't know about the Stevenson fight, because HBO are bullshitting, I think, where why would you... I don't understand why they can't just put it on pay-per-view. If they could put, we heard the news of Triple G Lemieux, why can't Kovalev Stevenson be on pay-per-view? I'm sure the hardcores and some casuals will pay for it because, that's a big fight. That's the biggest fight out there in that division. And they're two very entertaining guys. Well, Kovalev is, sometimes Stevenson, but, they're both the best in the game in their weight class. That's a fight that has to happen. And they're the ones who seem to be in the way of it and not letting it happen because they want to cry that Kovalev can make money elsewhere. This is a sport and it's also a business. If he can make more money elsewhere, let him do that. Simple as.
Definitely. Kev, I know you've not been the biggest watcher of recent boxing fights. I know you're a fan of the HBO production though, and you watched this card. What did you think of the fight?
It was expected. I like what Ari said. When you're in there with some guy, you're supposed to get him out. Like, you know what I mean? And I like that about fighters. And like sometimes you don't want to watch mismatches because it's like, what's the point? And it's boring. But at least if you know someone's going to get smoked, it has that entertainment value. So, I guess that's why I watched it. I wasn't really, hyped about it. I'm pretty pissed off that, this is what it come to, that this is who he's facing. So, but the undercard saved the event, I think. So I don't want to see a rematch, but I think the undercard saved the event.
I agree there. Hamada?
Kovalev's got serious power, man. He looks like he's getting better and better and more confident each fight. I know he was in there with a guy he's supposed to take out and take care of. and a guy who's always failed against, every time he stepped up. But I mean, he has that intimidation factor, I think, and he is improving every time out, and he's got a lot more versatile since we first seen him, I think. So I guess John David Jackson is going to start getting a lot of hype the way everybody was hyping up Nazim back like a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's true. Even maybe Abel Sanchez with Triple G, he's kind of gained a bit of momentum, just by training Triple G. But Hamada, I think you're like me now. You just you didn't stay up for this fight. Did you watch it on the Sunday? Hamada?
I can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I watched the Kovalev fight on Sunday. It obviously it's difficult to stay up for these kind of fights. We live in the UK. Starts at 4 a.m. in the morning. I mean, unless it's a fight that really you're excited for, or you really want to see. You know what I'm trying to say? You can't stay up for it. You know what I'm trying to say? So I watched it on Saturday. Kovalev was impressive, man. He did what he had to do. He got rid of the guy early as well, round 3. I had that in the predictions league. His accuracy was exceptional, man. I really liked how he doesn't really waste punches. Over the years we've seen so many punches, but they've also been sloppy with their power and they've relied on it and they just go in there and just throw bombs. But Kovalev's willing to take his time, pick his shots, and it will come. And I think Mohammedi was well overmatched. Some people say mandatories is good, but this is the kind of times that mandatories are bad, when the guy is so far out of his league. You know what I'm trying to say? And he could get seriously hurt. Mohammedi really, he tried to come with the herky-jerky style, a lot of movement and that, but Kovalev, as these punches normally do, like him and Golovkin, I noticed they seem to take round 1 off. They don't really try to knock their opponent out in round 1. They just have a look, see what their opponent's doing, and then round 2, round 3, as the rounds go, and they just zoom in, and then they just find home for the target.
Amada, could you give some analysis about the hat that Mohammedi came to the ring in?
Oh yeah, that hat was terrible, man. I don't know what he was doing.
He's trying to bring some swag to the boxing game.
Yeah, I don't know what he was about, but he wasn't up to much in the ring.
Nah, he was terrible, man. Terrible. Alright, I'm going to try and go to Lim, but I know he's in a bad reception spot. Dan, are you there?
Yeah, pass me, Cam.
Alright, we'll leave you for now and let Dan, because your line's pretty bad. You guys want to touch on the Stevenson situation now? Or should we get to this later on? Or
let's get out of the way.
Alright, what's your thoughts on it? I know you kind of touched on it earlier.
I said a bit on it already, but I blame Duva and HBO, where you got to do right by the fighter, and that's on Duva, where she's the promoter. If you're getting offered more money elsewhere, you have to take it, or you're being selfish for yourself. You're supposed to be promoting someone and doing the right for him. And if there's more money on a CBS or an NBC, you're supposed to take it, because that's good. If he, as expected, most people I'm sure would be picking Kovalev to knock him out. That's good for you for exposure. I'm sure there'll be a lot of viewers for that fight, at least 2 million, 3 million watching that. And he goes back to HBO afterwards, and then he's the king of the division. He's officially the king. He's got all the belts. That's what he's supposed to do. But HBO want to cry and take their ball away and lock him in, or whatever they're doing, and it's not right. And it's bullshit like this where we have to live with in this sport, and we all know about the politics, and it's just annoying where we had a fight that was lined up and it's just not happening. WBC tried to make it happen, but then when we think it's about to happen, it gets taken away again.
Yeah, I like some of the work that Duva does, but you get the impression that she's just kind of salty the way the industry's kind of treated her over the years. So that she's kind of almost doing it as a backlash to kind of fuck up the main boxing networks and that, and think, well, you know what, you guys fucking did me over, so I'm not going to let this fight happen. That's the impression I get anyway. Kev, what's your thoughts?
I don't know. I was just kind of tight that the fight didn't happen. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So it's another example of boxing where the fights that we want don't happen, and it's killing the sport. But hey, as much as like someone like me shits on PBC, this is a case where Heyman ducked the fight the first time by basically getting his guy to leave. All right, we all know that. So does that excuse the fact that basically Duva pulled out of the purse bid that would have gave us this fight? Like all of a sudden, like I just don't get the hypocrisy how people give a pass to Kovalev for it, but killed Stevenson for so long. And I think it's kind of bullshit. And, if I'm saying it, that it's got to be valid because I look for every chance to fucking get at PBC, but it's bullshit. It's a fight that's got to happen. If HBO wants it, buck up the money in the purse bid or step away, let Kovalev go, beat Stevenson, become a bigger star, and then come back. I don't see the issue with that.
Yeah.
If they're not going to get the fight anyway, why would they want to? They could always get these bullshit Mohammedi type mandatories, but why not do it after he really is the legit champion? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like CC1589 in the chat says the same thing. He totally agrees with you, Kev. Hamada, do you agree with Kev or? Hamada?
One moment, come back to me, Cam.
Okay, bro. Yeah.
Has anybody else noticed that like the same people killing Stevenson like give Kovalev a pass, and they're like, well, Kovalev wanted to fight before and Stevenson ran away. I'm like, okay, so what does A have to do with B? So Adonis ducked then, and now Kovalev or main events or whoever you want to put the blame on, duck now. And either way, the fight should have happened twice, and we're not getting it. So why does Kovalev get a pass? Because you like him?
That's the situation, really. It's like you're calling it how you're seeing it, but a lot of people have chosen sides in this political boxing war. So it's like if they've said things previous now, they can't really go against it because they're going to think that they're going to contradict themselves and look bad. And that's the biggest situation, I think. I think people took sides and now they kind of got their back against the wall.
Yeah, sorry about that earlier. My thoughts on it really is, like Kev, it works both ways. The first time, the reason the fight never happened is because Stevenson pulled out and went over to Showtime, and this time it happened because obviously Duva and HBO. But I listened to an interview that Kathy Duva did recently, and someone asked her, I don't remember who conducted the interview, but someone asked him, but not him, her, sorry. Like, why? How come you lot pulled out of the purse bid? And she just basically said that I can't, break my relationship with HBO because obviously Kovalev has an exclusive contract with HBO. If I break my relationship with HBO and, for example, leave HBO and go fight elsewhere, I've got nowhere else to go. You know what I'm trying to say? Because she's saying Heyman's got every other network, which is the truth. So I kind of understand where she's coming from, but I don't understand why you'd ask to be the mandatory or ask for the WBC to mandate it only to pull out. It doesn't make sense.
The thing is, I see
They
your
thought
point.
they were gonna. I'm sorry.
I see your point, Hamada, but you can also go to HBO and have some type of negotiation process. Because like what Kev says, if he goes over there and beats Stevenson, he's going to come back a bigger star. So overall, like, there's no point staying at HBO fighting another Mohammedi and fighting another. Like, the only fight really, apart from Stevenson, is the Beterbiev fight. Apart from that, like,
and he's with Heyman also.
Yeah. So apart from that, who else is there really to fight over at HBO? Is he just going to keep fighting lower opposition and just keep giving us third round, fourth round knockouts? Like, it's alright for you guys who pick him for third round knockouts and get you 60 points, but
and getting future opponents dodgy decisions because they ain't got a lot lined up. So they gotta bullshit someone on the way. I don't want to get into that, but
yeah, Isaac Chilemba's getting a title shot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that Isaac Chilemba fight is going to be there even if he goes to Stevenson. Like, you know what I mean? It comes back, and I just think HBO, like, if you're not going to pay the freight, And that's bullshit. I think Duvo tried to make Stevenson look bad again by getting in that purse bid, and Heyman called the bluff and said, fuck it, I'll give the fight, and was going to lay out money that they couldn't match. And what do you think's going to happen? If she lets Kovalev go somewhere and he wins, you think HBO is going to say, no, I don't want him back on the air, even though he's one of our biggest stars? Of course they are, you know? So she's not going to ruin the relationship.
HBO want that fight because that's the biggest fight in the division.
But they don't want to pay for it. They had the chance to pay for it, and they didn't.
Well, obviously, they're battling with a guy who has unlimited money.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I hate this whole thing is because he's not trying to make a profit. He'd rather lose a couple $1 million and prevent people from getting the fight. You know what I mean? And that's how he's trying to steal everybody.
So if he puts up 10 million, say Heyman puts up 10 million, the main event HBO. Financially, they work a different way to Heyman, so they won't be able to match that. So that's what I'm trying to say. HBO want that fight, but at the same time, they understand that obviously it can't happen because Heyman's got unlimited money and he's going to back his man, put the money up, and then the only place the fight can take place is on Heyman's terms.
They could put the money up if they put it on pay-per-view, though.
Yeah, but 10 million, 15 million, I mean, are they going to put up that much money for this fight? Are they going to make back any money from it? They're not going to make back money for it. They're a business. They work properly. Heyman's just, he's like a woman in a shopping centre. Just spending all the money. Spending as much money as he can.
With someone else's credit card.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anyone else got any points on this?
That was sexist.
Hey, Dan, come on. Nah, that's not good enough, Dan, man.
All right, let's move on to the undercard. Jean Pascal. A lot of you guys picked Gonzalez in the prediction league, didn't you? I think you looked at his record and thought, you know what, Pascal's kind of picked the wrong opponent here. And, like there were areas where Gonzalez definitely impressed me, man. But I was saying to some of you guys earlier, like his right hand, like he did not know how to throw his right hand properly. It came out as a slap more than a punch, and I think maybe if he could have thrown it a bit better, maybe he could have won the fight clearer and or possibly stopped Pascal. I know we know Pascal's got a good chin, but there were situations where Pascal looked in trouble, and if Gonzalez could have landed the right hand a bit better, I think he could have took him out. I spoke to Ari earlier, and I watched the fight and kind of mentally scored it. I just didn't bother getting my scorecard app and properly doing it. I watched it on Sunday morning. I had it a draw, and I heard a lot of people like very critical of the scorecards, and a lot of people had Gonzalez clearly winning. Ari, how did you score the fight, and what did you think of it overall?
Yeah, I think it's fight of the year so far. I can't think of a better fight. Maybe if someone said it, but I can't think of one right now. When I was watching it, I was in awe. I was like, at times it was like I was watching my reactions was like I was watching a gory film or something. I was like, recall it, like back, you know what I mean, like leaning back a bit with like a screw face. Like some of the hooks and punches they were landing, it's crazy that there was no knockdowns. And the Pascal's got, he's got one of the best chins. After this fight, definitely cemented it. He's one of the only guys to stay on his feet against Kovalev as well. It's just crazy. But I scored it 6-4 to Gonzalez. I thought Gonzalez, and if anyone would get the fight, you'd have to say Gonzalez. He won the clearer rounds. At times I was struggling to give Pascal a round, and there was a couple rounds where they were close, and I gave it to Pascal. So it could have even maybe been 7-3 in my opinion to Gonzalez. And I felt for him, man. You see him crying in the ring afterwards, where it could be his only shot. I'm sure he'll get another chance because he looked, he's fun to watch. But I just felt that he at least deserved a draw. I don't see where it's 6-4 Pascal and all the cards. I just don't see 6 rounds for Pascal. I just can't see it. So, I think it's bullshit. And like I was saying before about Kovalev, it's just like, it looks like they just robbed Gonzalez, or it was a kind of a close fight. So maybe not robbed, but they done that basically because Pascal fight was lined up for Kovalev already. They must have only got the contracts set up that they're fighting again, because again, Kovalev ain't got opponents. So Kovalev, Pascal 2, a rematch that no one wants. It looks like we're going to see that instead of maybe why couldn't Gonzalez get that? If he got the decision right, I'd love to see him versus Kovalev. I wouldn't mind that fight if the Stevenson fight wouldn't happen. I wouldn't mind seeing Gonzalez in there with him, but he could have done his jab a bit more. He had a nice stiff jab, but at times he wasn't using it. He was trying to go with the right hand, and I don't know what Pascal was really doing at times. He just looked like, I don't think he expected such a hard fight. He was messing around in there, and all right, he was doing all right with his reflexes, but he was still getting tagged a lot, and he was getting eaten up on the inside with the body shots. The body shots were really breaking him down.
Yeah.
And yeah, Gonzalez really impressed me with some of the stuff he was doing, and I'd love to see him again.
Yeah, the moments in the fight where they were just both swinging away, I know it's like bombs away rather than the sweet science, but it was really fun to watch. But there were like moments where, especially later on, where they both kind of slowed down a bit and a lot of clinching. I know like Pascal was kind of engaging the clinching more than Gonzalez, and those parts were a bit boring to watch. But overall, I really enjoyed the fight. But yeah, everything you said is right. I personally think the reason why they give it to him maybe is because just for the Kovalev rematch. And again, I agree with you that it's just a fight that we don't want, but there's no one over those sides to fight, and the rematch would kind of bring good TV figures in, make some good money. So that's the reason why they're doing it. I just thought the first fight was too one-sided. That Pascal had his moments against Kovalev, but I don't really see the need for a rematch. But Kev, what's your thoughts on the fight? How did you score it, if you did score it?
I didn't score it. I liked the fight. It was fun. But I, like Ari said, Pascal didn't win rounds clear and decisive. Like, if he won rounds, he kind of eked them out. And I think the rounds that, Gonzalez won, he won clear. And I didn't score the fight, but in my head, I just always thought Gonzalez was up. And I was expecting like a 6-4 scorecard for Gonzalez. I guess I could see a draw. But again, it's tough because I didn't see much work. And I know sometimes activity doesn't count if you're not landing, but when your activity is controlling the pace and the other guy's backpedaling and sprinting away, like, I think you got to give, credit to that, no? So that's kind of where I stand. I was like, I know you never really rated Pascal, Cam, very high. And it's true, he doesn't have much like natural, regular boxing ability. Like, he's not textbook. He gets by with athleticism, chin, and, just being a strong guy. But he looked bad, and I think he's had a couple too many beatings. His, coordination's going a little bit. And it's just going to be a downside. And if he does get a Kovalev fight again, I just don't think that's right, doing somebody dirty like that.
One thing I would say for Pascal, though, to give him credit, I thought he landed more cleaner shots. I think, like I said before, Gonzalez with more cuffing shots, and he didn't really land them as clear. And like Pascal's upper body movement was troubling, especially like the issues where he was putting his head down too much and getting caught in the back of the head. But I could see the
And
draw.
I agree with that, Cam, except his clean shots weren't having the effect of some of Gonzalez's shots. Like, the guy who got rocked twice was Pascal, right? The guy who got moved back was Pascal. You know what I mean? So, like, his punches might have looked better, but they didn't have that effect that needed, I think, to really win some rounds, even though I would have gave him some.
Yeah.
But I always thought that's why it was better for Pascal to fight at the highest level, because if he loses, he kind of gets a pass. Whereas if he went to the lower level or guys that are a little less known, that loss is more damaging, and he has the type of style that could be exposed by, just good fighters that are in shape, ready to fight.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Hamada, your thoughts on the fight and how you scored it?
Yeah, let me get my scorecard. 1 second.
Where your scorecard at, though?
Where your scorecard at? Nah, I got my scorecard. I scored it a draw. 95-95. The first round was a big round for Gonzalez. I thought he put it on him quite badly. I thought Pascal was in a bad way in round 1. But then you got it together in round 2. This Cuban wasn't your typical Cuban, man. He was really crude, man. He was really crude. He weren't throwing his punches correctly. He had a decent jab, but he weren't using it much.
I think we need to see your passport, man. Is he really Cuban?
Yeah, he looked African, if anything. Yeah, man, but it was a close fight. I don't think it was a robbery. I've been hearing how people think it was a robbery. I don't think it was a robbery. I scored a draw. I thought Pascal, like you said, Cam, landed cleaner shots, but the Cuban landed more shots. So, what do you like? Work rate, cleaner punching. It comes down to what you like, really. And I think a draw would have been a fair result, but Pascal getting a slight victory. If you could give it, let's just say, if you could give it to anyone, it should have been given to the Cuban, but I think a narrow win for Pascal is, I don't know, it's a bit harsh, but poor Cuban, man, he was crying afterwards, but hopefully he gets another fight, man.
I think he will, I think people, after a performance like that, you always kind of get picked up for another fight. So I think he'll definitely be back in a biggish fight, but yeah. I was just a bit disappointed for the guy. Like, even though I scored at a draw, I think if anyone should have won it, it should have been him. Pascal winning it, I don't know, man. It's just I think that's just boxing politics. But anything else regarding this fight?
Yeah, man. If it's his fight of the year, then we haven't had a good year, man. That's what I'm saying. It was a good fight. You know what I'm trying to say, but. We should see more fights like this year. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. All the fights that we got better there's been better matchups this year, but they haven't lived up to the hype, Nah,
but we got fight of the year coming this Saturday though, bro. We got like the Rumble in the Humber, Tommy Coyle and Cool Hand Luke Campbell. Come on, bro.
Hey Cam, they don't like each other,
Serious?
Did you hear that? They don't like each other.
Oh, Sky been playing their tricks again, man.
It's a joke, man. Fuck that fight, man.
I love Hamada, man. He speaks his mind. All right.
I got a rant on all of that anyways. It's coming later on, don't worry.
Yeah, I'll look forward to it. But, yeah, anything else about Pascal? All right, move on.
Just that he's got terrible gas tank. You can tell from his eyes he was gassing. He was gassing from the third, fourth round.
I don't know why anyone trains with Roy Jones as well, because it's like he's never really there, man. Like, he might be there for like 2 camps and you won't see him for a while. It's like, what's the point? Might as well stick to a full-time trainer.
Pascal, I heard that he struggles to make light heavyweight. I mean, the first thing I noticed when they both got in the ring was the guy was like, it was like a cruiserweight versus a super middleweight. Pascal shouldn't even be a light heavyweight. The guy
Pascal's always short at that weight.
Yeah, but I think he's carrying too much muscle, man. Even you can tell, like, in the middle round, he's struggling to even get his hands up. That he relies on his legs for defense.
Yeah, and the thing with him is he's always gotten by on his athletic ability, and he doesn't have physical advantages at this weight class. And even when he's trained with guys like Memo, Heredia, and training with Roy Jones, like, he's never got that gas tank situated. And you see that a lot with guys that are built like Pascal as opposed to guys that are built like Kovalev. The long, lean guys with strong muscles that, it sends that they got punching power, can punch forever. And a guy like Pascal, after 5 rounds, is pretty much, if you weathered the first 5-6 rounds and you're an underdog against him, it's your turn to come back,
Pascal's got that George Groves gas tank.
running up driveway hills for cardio.
Yeah, man, he's got that George Groves gas tank. 3 rounds and it's done. He's on red.
He did that thing again where in the last 10 seconds
went to his corner.
His corner.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Get more of a rest.
Yeah. Oh man, like, he's the only one. I still can't believe he does that shit. He's like the only person I've ever seen make sure he's near his corner when he hears that 10-second clapper, just so he can sit down and not waste any more energy. Ridiculous.
I think like that's for him. It has become mental. Seriously, I think it's all in his head now. I think he probably has got a better stamina, but mentally he just thinks he hasn't, so it kind of fucks him up. Like that whole corner thing just sums it up for me. That it's a mental issue.
Yeah, probably is.
But yeah, all right. Let's move on. We're talking about weight. Good segue is when I watched the BJ Flores versus Bibit Shumanov fight. Like, I don't think Shumanov. He said that he struggled to make light heavy, man, but the size difference in the ring between him and BJ Flores was massive, man. It did look like 2 different weight classes. I watched the fight earlier, about 2 hours ago. I didn't enjoy it, to be honest.
He struggled to make weight because he had no one telling him how to do it. He had no trainers.
Now he's got a trainer now. He's had a trainer for that was the second fight with a trainer.
He struggled in the past because he probably had no one telling him diet, how to cut weight. He was just like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but he's Batman though. Like he's got Alfred.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched the fight earlier. I just it wasn't a great fight. For me, like Shumenov was just doing too much, like bolos and just messing about too much. I'm thinking like you're not that good to do all that shit. And I don't like the guys that have the jabbing hand out with like the pouring, like they're doing fencing, just like they're just sticking it out. I hate that style, man. It's one style that I really dislike, and he does it a lot. And combined with the bolos, combined with him kind of, I don't want to say running, but he was on the back foot a lot. But when he did engage, man, there was like the third round was excellent because I think he lost the first two and he came out in the third and he was like throwing combinations and throwing good jabs to the body. I think that was one of his key punches against Flores. Like Flores couldn't really block the jab to the body, and Flores for me summed it up in I think in the round between 11 and 12 when his dad, who's his trainer, said you need to cut the ring off, and he's like, how do I do that? And I'm like, so you're a commentator at NBC. You've been in the boxing industry for so many years, and you're asking your dad how I need to cut the ring off, man. I thought that was terrible. Like, NBC need to drop that guy, man, from doing any commentary and shit. And having said that, Kev, I normally watch the PBC in the UK, so they might have a different commentary. And I haven't watched as many with Sugar Ray Leonard. And I know you've said in the past that you think Sugar Ray Leonard doing commentary is really poor. And I have to agree, man. He was talking about Shumenov like he was watching Muhammad Ali in his prime.
Yeah, that's what he was doing when he was talking about Broner versus Molina. Like, oh, now he's going to turn it up because he's unbelievable, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm giving people credit for missing weight and still having energy. It's like he missed weight.
He's like, oh,
yeah,
look at
he's bad.
He was like, oh, look at the movement by Shumenov, look at the confidence. I'm like, the guy's fucking shit, man. Like, why? It's hard to hear, like,
destroyed by a 50-year-old Bernard Hopkins. Like,
exactly, and he's like, oh, I've watched a few tape on him, and he's never performed like this. This is probably the best I've ever seen him perform. And I'm like, fuck, BJ Flores is shit. He's shit. Like, what are you talking about, Mr. Leonard, man? It almost like makes you think, is this the same guy that we used to watch and we used to admire as a boxer? Like, how is he talking like this, knowing that what he did in the past, man? It's weird. It gives you a weird situation.
Yeah, it makes you feel like it's wrestling, like WWF, like it's Jim Ross saying exactly what Vince McMahon wants him to say, and you don't get the sense of realism. You know what I mean? And you'll get a lot of like Lampley being bad because he's biased, and when he's biased, he goes over and over shit, but Roy Jones usually, as much as I don't think he's very good either, but he'll usually call the fight down the middle. Like, I remember there was times watching, like, Hopkins versus Taylor back in the day where, Taylor would throw a 4-punch combination and Lampley would be like, oh, the youth, the experience, look at what he's throwing, blah, blah, blah. And then Roy Jones would be, actually, that was, Hopkins landing the one counter right hand that landed clean in that exchange, Like, he'll keep it real. So, like, there's some checks and balances there, but it just doesn't exist with these PBC cards, and it's just unbelievable. It's bad, in my opinion. It's damaging to the quality of the production.
Yeah. Kev, have you got a bet with Lukey that you have to mention wrestling at least once in a Coalition episode?
Nah.
Now, I'm sure you got some type of bet going on, man.
It's a drinking game, so at the end of every week, we count it up.
All right. Ari, I know you kind of skipped through the fight. Hamad, I think you watched it or skipped through it too. What's your thoughts on it? Start with you, Ari. I know you skipped through it. I know you didn't watch the whole fight.
Oh, I got nothing to say about it. Every time I did a little skip, all I saw was Shumenov running laps. So
Track
I've
and
got
field.
nothing to say. Yeah, so I've got nothing to say. It's a fight that I don't think I could give any less care about either guy, really. Flores, he's one of these guys like Jacobs, where instead of in the gym, they want to talk on PBC, talking shit, and basically saying nothing in between rounds. So, I've got nothing else to say, really.
I kind of find it funny as well that before the fight, there was a segment with Flores and Jacobs where they were kind of playing out the fight. So what Flores needs to do to win the fight, and then what Shumenov needs to do to win the fight. And Flores like didn't take any of the fucking things that he said on board. It's quite funny.
He didn't follow any of it, innit?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't follow any of his own advice.
You know, I found funny when Jacob said, "Oh, you gotta avoid that right hand, otherwise it could be an early night for you."
You know what though? I like Jacobs as a commentator. You know, well, not a commentator, but just as on TV. I think he's decent. You know, he's one of the better boxers that play that kind of anchor slash second guy. You know, like the guy they go to in the corner. I think he does a decent job. You know.
I thought Cunningham did all right on the commentary.
Yeah, he did. You know, Cunningham did a good job.
Yeah, man, it was a shit fight, man. Flores is garbage, man. He's garbage, man. And his dad's useless as well. His dad was saying, I think was it halfway through the fight, Shumenov's fighting like a woman. What was that all about? Why? Because he's moving and he's using movement. You're not allowed to move in boxing now.
Yeah.
He's a joke, man. They were all a joke. Flores. It's like they were trying to push Flores to us as well. It's like they were talking about his family and his family background, and Flores is garbage, man. I like how Shumenov filled up to the weight, though. When you said they looked two different weight classes, who are you talking about? Who was bigger, you thought?
I thought Flores was noticeably bigger.
Yeah, I think Flores is carrying a lot of unnecessary weight. I thought Shumenov was in good shape.
I think he's in good shape, but I think he's going to struggle with some of the top contenders at cruiserweight. Like, there's some big, hard-hitting dudes in there, and like Flores was like really stunning at points in the fight, especially the last round. And there was an earlier round as well where I think it was the second round where you got caught with the overhand right, and I'm like, shit, if you're getting caught off BJ Flores, man, what's Marco Huck gonna do to you?
Yeah, it's true, but I like how he filled out to the weight. You can tell like his legs have gone bigger. He looked a lot physically bigger than what he used to at light heavyweight. I mean, that's something Tony Bellew can learn from. He moved up to cruiserweight and ate his way up, and now he looks like the Michelin man. Yeah,
he's got man boobs and shit, man.
Yeah, he's fat as shit, and you're a professional athlete. You know what I'm trying to say? You went up 25 pounds. It's not as if you went up 7 pounds. You went up 25 pounds. You can put on some good muscle, but I don't know what Tony Bellew's on anyways. But Shumenov was using a lot of movement. I was surprised because when I've seen Shumenov in the past, he's normally flat-footed, quite flat-footed as well. I mean, B-Hop was running rings around him at 50 years of age. So, yeah, I was quite surprised with his movement. He looked alright. He didn't even look good, in all honesty. He was switching to southpaw, and he wasn't really doing anything when he was in southpaw. I don't know. He was just trying to confuse Flores or something.
Yeah, and my last point is, I just didn't like Flores' post-fight interview. I just thought he came off very salty, you know.
I didn't even listen to it.
He expected a robbery, innit? Or, you know, he's thinking, no, I work for these guys. They're going to hook me up. Nah, Flores, you earn it. Fuck out of here. I've had enough, you know. I'm not going to lie. I can't. I'm sitting there, you know, I'm not going to say nothing. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Sorry about that. No, it's just, I don't understand. That fight was shit, man.
It was.
What was Heyman really thinking, putting that on at the same time as a HBO card? I want to know the views on that. You know, I'm not really a guy who cares about views, but I'm sure I'll be surprised if that got over like 100,000 people watching.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
because who would really sit there to watch that crap anyway?
If you're a boxing fan, even if it's...
I'm not a boxing fan. I didn't watch that shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if you're a boxing fan, you're going to choose the Kovalev fight, aren't you, really?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just don't know. And weren't they both in Vegas?
Yeah, they were. And there was no fucker in the whole arena. the arena was empty.
Oh, my God. I just don't understand.
To be fair, though, there wasn't a lot of people at the Kovalev fight either.
Nah, there was. I wanted to mention that. Like, it looked busy in parts, but there were a lot of empty seats.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of people in there.
Yeah, they said they were having a lot of trouble moving tickets. And this
was
like
it in Vegas,
a week or two before the fights.
What? I thought they were trying to build him on the East Coast in New York or whatever.
Maybe they wanted to expand. I don't know. So I hate that with boxing. When something works, just stay with it.
Exactly.
You know? Stop moving around.
Don't fuck with a good formula.
Yeah, but I think
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think Kovalev was fighting in Atlantic City, but he wasn't even fighting in the big room. He was fighting in the small room. He only fought B-Hop in the big room.
Is that why I'm kind of hearing rumours of like a bit of a homecoming back to Russia and have an easy fight down there? Do you think he just hasn't found a home yet? Obviously, Russia's his proper home, but just in the States, he's not really...
Well, he wants to fight better beef in Russia.
He's with Heyman. I don't think that's a...
Yeah, but that's the offer that they say they want to make. Duva said that she wants to make.
I don't know. I doubt that.
Do I see it happening? No, I doubt it. But that's a fight in Russia they feel will be really big.
Yeah. All right. Let's go down the black hole for a bit. We won't speak too much because the card's very weak. Talking about the Friday's Box Nation Frank Warren card in London at Wembley Arena. Ari, I know you had the free tickets available to watch this and you decided not to go, and I don't blame you, to be honest, because once Chivanov pulled out injured from the Frank Buglioni fight, there was kind of no point going. I don't know. I know we talk about mismatched cards and stuff, but I probably think this card's probably the most mismatched card I've seen in a long time, and it's probably worse than some of the Hearn cards I've seen. Ari, man, what did you think of the overall? Just like Billy Joe Saunders' opponent, and
I haven't even seen that fight. I've seen two fights, both finished in the first round. I saw the Mitchell Smith fight and Chisora. So that's the only ones I've seen. I have no urges to go looking for the others, even though they're mostly on YouTube. But yeah, shout out to Leon. We could have went for free thanks to him. He's got a hookup, I think. But nah, I'm not going to that. Once Buglioni fight weren't happening. What else was on that card? That card was terrible. You know?
Boy Jones Jr., bro, come on.
I think I'm missing a joke with that guy. Is he just like hyped because of his name?
No, I think he's supposed to be quite decent as well.
Is he actually good?
He's okay.
I didn't even know.
He's okay, but it's hard to tell at the moment because he's fighting.
I thought it was because of his name.
No, I think it's the guy that kind of trains him and his connections. I think he's got quite a bit of a following as well. But
yeah. But the what's it called? The Mitchell Smith fight. Yeah, that's quite impressive in my opinion. Where he set up that fight because he wanted to prove, because he shits on Warrington. He wanted to prove that he's levels above Warrington, and maybe he done that. Warrington went 12 rounds with that guy. He knocked him out inside a round. So what does that really tell you? We know Warrington's got this big fan base in Leeds and all that, but I've never really rated him, and I don't like it when he calls out Selby, because Selby really just gave him a lesson and maybe just take him out there inside 6. But
he's not even calling out Selby. It's Hearn.
No, he calls out Selby. I've seen interviews. He calls out Selby.
Yeah, because he's being told to call out Selby.
Well, he done it. If I hear it from his mouth, he's done it. So, But yeah, Mitchell Smith got that guy out there inside the round.
Hamada loves saying anything about her impossible, huh?
No, it's the truth, though. It's the truth, Kev, man.
Yeah, man. But and a Chisora fight, I think that looked like the guy took a dive or something. I don't know what's going on over there. I didn't even know Chisora was back. And then I see him. Chisora looked in decent shape as well, to be honest. I've heard he got rid of everyone, including Don Charles, and I think that's good. I've never really rated Don Charles.
What was your nickname for Don Charles?
I wasn't going to say it. Because I'm trying to not call people bums anymore. But I used to,
Bum Charles.
Bum Charles. I used to call it Bum Charles. I don't know if people remember. I don't want to call him that no more. I'm trying to not bum anymore, but I don't rate him as a trainer, never have. So I think that's positive for Chisora, but I think Chisora's done either way. And that's all I could say. I'm not going to watch the rest. I can't believe that was on TV. And if I had Bots Nation, I'd be pissed off. So I don't know how you feel, Cam, because you pay for that. You pay for Bots Nation. And
yeah, but it swings and roundabouts, because that was shit. But then we got the Kovalev fight in HD, so can't really complain.
Yeah, we're the only people allowed to moan about it because we pay for it, Cam.
Exactly.
What's up, Leon?
Easy, how you doing?
Good, you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. That was one of the worst lineup of oppositions I've ever seen on a card on Friday night.
But the thing
They
is,
were some of the worst boxers I've ever seen in a ring. I'm not lying, man.
I think did they get a couple of people that came to watch the fight and decide, hey, do you want to fight tonight or you just want to watch? Do you think?
Oh, but the guy who's fighting Billy Joe Saunders was trying to clothesline him. That's all. He was the wildest fight I've ever seen in the ring.
Actually, I want to ask you guys: do you think that was an unnecessary fight? Because what if there's a head clash and he cuts him, and it's just gonna fuck his title shot up? What?
And Saunders cried when Eubank done that before his fight.
Exactly.
He was crying about Eubank having a warm-up fight. And yeah, I can see that, Cam.
I didn't think any point. Like, that guy is not going to cause you any issues. Yeah, you're going to get some rounds, but just go and have some hard spars. You don't need to fight a guy with no head guard and to get some rounds in.
There's no point fighting a guy who's so many levels below you. He could have just got a headbutt, elbow, anything. That guy was so wild. It was a pointless fight.
Exactly.
I mean, he's badly out of shape, isn't he? Badly out of shape.
Yeah, he was looking. He was looking fleshy.
Yeah, he looked like food, and Andy Lee must have just been going, "Oh, can't fight him now."
Yeah, was it you, Leon, that messaged me and saying that Andy Lee looked like this? Like, what the fuck type of show have I turned up to?
What am I doing here with all these bums, man? I'm too good for this shit. He was all well dressed. He's a very well dressed man, Andy Lee.
He looked so awkward, didn't it? Like, what am I doing here?
Like, get me out of here. He was cringing, wasn't he?
He had to say positive comments about some of the fights and shit.
What did he said? Oh, this Billy Joe Saunders fight. It's not even a fight. It's not a fight. It was a horrible card. I still watched it though. I got something wrong with me, I think.
Yeah, I skipped through it, but yeah, Hammadi, did you see any of it?
I ain't seen one punch from that whole card.
You didn't miss nothing. With Ari saying as well that like he thinks there were some dives, man. I think there was some dives as well. Like the guy that fought Warrington, Tuber.
Yeah, he dived. He definitely dived.
Yeah, because soon as the ref's putting the hand up on that, he's fucking picking Mitchell Smith up and celebrating and shit. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? 2 minutes ago, you were in agony with a body shot, and now you're celebrating picking up the guy that has stopped you.
It was a jab to the body. He's not Kovalev. I mean, he looked wild again. Mitchell Smith. He's really believes in his power, doesn't he? He really thinks he's a big puncher.
Yeah, but you're backing your boy, isn't he? A West Ham boy.
Yeah, but he's just gonna. I can't co-sign or back him when he thinks he can beat Lomachenko. Just making us look stupid. I'm sorry. If you're calling out Lomachenko and you've had about 13 fights and fought no one, you got to behave yourself. We're realists as West Ham fans. That's just nonsense.
Yeah, that's true.
Still, it's a hammer, so I'll back him, but he needs to calm down a bit, I think.
All right, just another quick mention for Channel 5 and Spike UK. There was undercard started at 8, and then the main fight started at 10 on Channel 5. Nick Blackwell versus Damon Jones. Decent fight, man. Damon Jones was frustrating Blackwell first few rounds. Southpaw, just stick and moving. Just using the ring well. Using his jab well, but then Blackwell caught him. Nice right hand while he was trying to exchange in the 6th round. Dropped him, and I think, did he twist his ankle? He definitely injured his leg, didn't he?
No. That was the punch.
Or do you think he was...
Cam, why wasn't that in the league?
I was trying to put it on in the league, and I was having issues with the website. It wasn't letting me add a picture to Damon Jones, so I didn't end up putting it on.
Alright. No, I thought it was a knockout punch. I didn't see no twisted ankle.
Alright.
I think he was done.
Huey Fury was on the undercard as well. Got unanimous decision. I think he won all the rounds. I think we need to move him on a bit now. I know he's weird. He's had tougher fights, and then he's gone backwards a bit, and then goes forwards again. And I don't know, man. I like the Furies, but I find it hard to, like Leon said, co-sign guys that are just so out of shape. We're kind of shitting on other boxers before about being out of shape, and Billy Joe being flabby and Flores looking like he's got a bit too much weight on him. But you look at the Furies, man. They don't look like athletes at all.
I think it's just genetics, because I actually thought he looked quite good.
I thought Huey looked good.
I thought he looked really good.
What, physically, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but when you look at his arms, man, he's got like no muscle, man. It's like, well, this guy's a heavyweight boxer.
Yeah, but again, that might be genetics.
It's genetic.
I'm like, man, I don't believe this genetic shit, man.
Yeah, man.
What, you don't believe in genetics?
You know, it's great. I actually posted this on Twitter. I was like, all right, now the coalition, we're denying genetics. It's fucking classic. I don't believe in this genetic shit. It's only been proven over decades. People getting the same diseases because of a genetic condition.
No, man. If Huey and Tyson trained properly, man, they would be muscular and, you know what I mean? I don't think they train properly. Yeah. And if you look at Huey's back and his neck, like, he has too much sugar in his diet, you can just tell.
Well, he's just got over his... They found out he was allergic to different food, so that takes some time to get out of your system if you've been eating, you know, hasn't been eating properly all his life. So I think he was looking really good to the shape he was in a year ago. And he's a great mover for a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's really good on his feet, isn't he? But he's got no power, has he, really?
Nah, like, that guy rocked him a few times, but you couldn't take him out of there. But that guy hasn't been stopped for a long time, has he? So.
Come on, Cam. Best corner ever. Wife and daughter in his corner. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's his trainer's his wife, and the bucket man was his daughter.
Yo, man, you might as well keep all the money in the family. Why give it to anyone else? Let your wife get the training money, you know?
Exactly.
Get your daughter get the cut money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His uncle's probably his manager. His dad's his promoter. Keep the money in house, I say. That's Pakistani style.
Yo, that's worse than that guy, man. What's that guy's name? His mum trains him.
Oh, the guy that fought George Groves?
Yeah.
Dennis Duglin.
Man. Keep it low.
Dennis Duglin.
Yeah, man. That's worse than that, man. I thought that was bad.
Wait, is it? I've just got the link up quickly. Is that his wife who's treating his cuts?
The wife's standing in front of him, and the daughter's out behind the ropes. Bucket, yeah.
We've seen it all now, innit?
We've seen it all. But I thought he looked good. He's got skills, Huey.
Yeah,
I like those Furies, and I like Peter Fury.
And Cam, I think you're forgetting he's 20 years old.
I mean, that is true, but I don't know, man.
He hasn't grown into his body. He might, you know.
So why did he turn him pro if he's 20 years old?
Well, he's been pro since he was 18.
Why did he turn him pro? Why did he stay in the amateurs?
I think heavyweight amateurs there's limited opposition, so you might as well just turn pro.
Go to the Olympics, you know what I'm trying to say? Go to the World Championships. Build a good amateur career, you know what I'm trying to say? Instead of turning pro at such a young age, and then you're going to be here having these kind of fights for what, 5-6 years? Until you actually step up? What's the point?
No, you make a good point.
Well, to be fair,
Mexicans have been doing all right, you know, doing that for years and years. I don't think it makes much difference.
And I think you and Cam are forgetting he had a bad illness recently, and he's just getting back to it. And I think he's lost weight from that as well. So
he's 20 pounds less than he was in the last time he was in the ring.
Yeah,
he's probably just got diabetes. That's the issue.
He's got gluten problems, hasn't he? And certain things he can't eat. I heard in an interview.
All right.
But I like Channel 5 boxing. I'm glad they put it on.
Yeah, I do as well. I think to get, some decent fights on Saturday night for free in the UK. And I don't think their production value is that bad either, to be honest. Apart from that fish and chips and scraps, that is a bit shitty.
That's a different thing, though,
but the main Channel 5 one is quite good, to be honest. Especially when they used to get Al Bernstein over as well. I can't really see that happening in the future, but I'm a big fan.
They've cut the budget even more now.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm a fan of Al, and when they used to get him over for the fights, that was good, man. Especially like the Kid Galahad fights. I think we can touch on Kid Galahad as well, innit, with his suspension.
How long did he get? I missed this.
2 years.
You mean Kid Galaroids?
Galaroids. Yeah, the 2 years have not been. He appealed against it, and the appeal failed. So, yeah.
Basically, it's just like a year and a couple of months, because he's already
September.
been backdated till September, his last fight. Apparently, that's been given as a DQ now.
I checked the record the other day when you messaged me that, and his record's still the same, so I'm not sure. I might check it again just now. Give me a sec.
That's what they said on the Sky Sports website. But
what about Sorry, Cam.
It's alright, go ahead.
No, I was going to change the subject, so go on, carry on.
I was going to say, like Sky are going to shit on Kid Galahad, and as soon as they sign him, then they'll fucking be rating him, so Sky are just biased like that. But yeah, it's still classed as a win on BoxRec, Hamada, but we all know that BoxRec's not too accurate, because the other day it had Nick Blackwell as 3rd round TKO, and it was 6th round, so...
Yeah, what about Tony Thompson?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
I mean, that came out over the weekend. I mean, that fight was nearly 2 years ago. Or what actually was 2 years ago.
18 months, I think, yeah.
It was 2 years ago. I remember when he knocked out Price, it was July. It was not July, I think it was July, June-ish, summer 2013. And for them to find out now, he's had like 5-6 fights already, and they said they banned him for 18 months, and now the 18 months has expired, so he's not even banned. He's not even been banned.
So what did he get popped for?
I don't know, man. These steroids, they got some long names, Cam.
No, it wasn't a steroid. It was I can't remember. But apparently he said it had something to do. Oh shit, it's completely left my mind. But he had one of his supplements or something he's got like a condition, and I think it was Adderall. It might have been Adderall. I can't fully remember, but it's something they take.
That's Shea Mosley
Sometimes
Jr.
Adderall is used to like mask it too, because the NFL was getting caught with Adderall a lot.
You're mixing it up.
It weren't Adderall.
I think that was Shea Mosley Jr.
It was something he was taking, and he could have added to the exemption list, and he didn't add it, or something like that. He didn't fill out the paperwork right, or something like that. And he got busted for it. But I don't think he was doping.
London Box put ADHD in the chat, but I don't know if that's related to what.
That's it. Yeah, he's got AD. It was something to do with ADHD.
Yeah, an ADHD medication.
Yeah.
Ain't that Mosley's son though? That you lot talk about the ADHD thing. Because I read about Shea Mosley's son having ADHD, and he took something for it. I think Tony Thompson was something different. I'm gonna go look it up now. 1 second.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Me on steroid knowledge is terrible, and I don't really read up about it because I find it kind of boring. But that's just me, to be honest.
No, same here.
It's too much bullshit. We're never going to know everything anyway. You know what I mean? What's used to mask it, what's used to not mask it, what testing was done. Like you said, it's impossible for us to know all of it.
Yeah,
except the basic meathead science. Like the rest of it, who knows?
If someone's not paying me, I'm not learning that stuff.
If it's not my job, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not a journalist, man. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't got no heart.
And I'm a boxing fan. I'm not a fan of like fucking steroids and shit.
I don't need my shit being put down into words on some poxy little blog.
Yep. But quick, Leon, you jumped on late, so give us your thoughts on the Kovalev fight, the Pascal fight, and anything else related to those.
Kovalev, it was just, well, we all saw that come in, didn't we? That guy was out of his depth, and it was, yeah, exactly what I thought. It's kind of exactly what we've come to expect from it. It's like a mirror performance. He does the same thing to his guys. He's a very, very good fighter, and I hope they make that Ward fight. That's what I want to see. I want to see him fight Ward. So I think that's the best challenge for both of them.
And the Pascal fight?
He got very, very lucky, didn't he? I had the Gonzalez winning by 2 rounds. He's got a hell of a chin on him, that guy, man. Hell of a chin. And, yeah, I want to see him again. I'd rather see him than Pascal again, for sure. I picked him to win in the league as well, so I feel a bit robbed myself.
I picked UD, so I'm happy with my 30 points.
You're not the only one, Leon. I picked Gonzalez as well.
I know, I saw it, because Pascal, he's done, I think, you know. Like, if he goes over the road and tries to fight Better Beef or something like that, he's getting knocked out quickly, I think. Yeah, but that's all it wasn't a great card, was it, really?
Nah, the whole weekend was a bit slower. I think the weekend before we had so many fights. This weekend just gone is a bit of an anticlimax, but that's how boxing is these days. You have,
I mean, that PVC card was a complete waste of time. I mean, that is literally a fight that no one ever asked for. No one. If you could ask 500,000 boxing fans, and not one of them going to say they wanted to see that fight.
Yep, I totally agree.
Pointless waste of time and money for everyone.
All right, let's move on. Take a little break. Talk about Ari and Hamada in the prediction league. All right, my boy Milos Basileos still in first position. Hamada still in second position. Chapihova still in third. Inverness Mart up 2 places in fourth. James Bennett fifth. HR 186 in sixth. Mon in seventh. Minor Bongo in eighth. J. O'Dan in ninth. And a familiar name has crept into the top 10. Ari Gold Boss. Ari, man, what's going on? You have bad starts, but you always finish strong.
Yeah, man, I'm like Usain Bolt, you know. I start off slow, but when I get up to that pace, I'm unstoppable. But no, I should have had max points, because when I heard that talker Flores missed weight, I actually changed Shumnov to UD, and then right after again I changed it back to SD. So that's on me. I should have max points ready, but I had 100. And yeah, I picked Kovalev third round. I had that, and Pascal. I didn't even know much about Gonzalez, to be honest, but I picked Pascal, even though I think Gonzalez won the fight. Oh yeah, I had Pascal UD as well. So yeah, I did alright. I'm back in top 10 now. I can't make it. It's too far of a gap. Milos and Hamada are way ahead. So I need to just start off strong on my next season. I need to start off strong. I need to get into training and get my starting speed up. You know what I mean? I need to get out of blocks a bit quicker. That's what I need to train on.
All right. Put a few fights up this week. Not that many. I'll give a mention to him as it's coming up on my laptop. Put Joseph Parker in there. Brian Rose, Carson Jones rematch. Luke Campbell, Tommy Coyle. Danny Garcia, Paulie Malignaggi. Daniel Jacobs versus Sergio Mora. Johnny Gonzalez versus Hazuki Hashimoto. And Rashid Warren versus Juan Carlos Payano. So they're the fights in the prediction league this week. Let me give a mention to the people in the chat. We got Tony Yeo, Casual Fan, Basileos, Shams 1000, Harvey 29, Nothing for Something, PM versus Tico 1, CC 1589, Bill Bones 101, Zane's World, NK Healthy, Nunez 83, Arizona Slim, Z334, Super Merc, BRD Hay, Nesmatic, James Bennett, Marky Mark, TMT, Joe Morgan, Lucan, Raphael 22, Kevlar, Anastasia, Davis Lee 1, Rob Palmer 135, Wasif 1, Amir Khan 7, Mr. Dermo, Zulo 90, Low Country, London Box, D Love, Court Music, and 17 guests. Alright, guys.
You might have to stop doing that, Cam. You're starting to lose breath.
I know, man. Like, I'm getting gassing myself, man, doing the fucking roll call and shit. But
yeah, shout out to all the listeners. Live.
Yeah, I want to say that, like, when we started, like, we used to get 30 people in the chat, then 40, then, you know, it's slowly growing up, and it's nice to see, like, building the following, and, you know, people are listening live and getting involved in the chat, man, because, yo, the chat's friendly, man. I've been in chats of, you know, other podcasts, and like, there's always some guys always arguing and shit, but generally our chat is pretty humorous and everyone gets on. Like, there's no beef in our chat, so I'm happy about that, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, it's alright today. Just Rob chatting shit a bit, but other than that, it's all good.
Yeah, but that's standard. That's standard for Rob, don't it?
Is Kid Galabum not in there trolling people?
No, not today.
No. Our favourite troll.
Yeah. All right. What, guys? What do you want to talk about, guys? Have a little break. Should we talk about Triple G Lemieux?
Yeah.
All right, Leon. You go first. You happy with that fight?
Yeah, I'll take that fight.
I need to clear something up because I've had a busy week. Is that pay-per-view, is it not? Like,
pay-per-view.
It is.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, that's what I've read.
All right. Are you guys happy with that being pay-per-view? Because I'm not.
Well, it doesn't bother us over here, really, does it? We're not paying for it.
True.
Yeah, so that doesn't. So as the fight goes,
yeah, I don't think it's a pay-per-view
fight. But if I was in the States, I wouldn't be that over the moon with it. But you're getting two of the best fighters on the planet, though. Not,
what?
I mean, no,
Lemieux
because
is one of the best fighters on the planet.
No, let me finish.
Let clear it up.
Let me finish. Gonzalez is on the undercard. Yeah, Kev, you get that?
What'd you say?
Gonzalez is on the Chocolatito's on the undercard. So
Oh, okay. So that's what you meant, the best fight. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I think it's bullshit that it's pay-per-view, but I think it's a good move by HBO because they want to see how big this guy's star really is. Because what if he does some crazy numbers like Canelo did in his Lara and Anguilla fight and did like 300K or 325K, and that puts him in a place where he could be a profitable pay-per-view guy, and then that makes the potential Ward matchup easier to be made because now they know, oh, he already did this with, Lemieux. What would he do with Ward? And we know how much money we could spend on that and still make money. So I think this is good for HBO and the fact that they're trying to see what they could do with this guy. It's bad for us viewers because I don't think it's a pay-per-view fight. But luckily for me, I think the fight's going to be in MSG and it's going to be on my birthday, so I'll probably be in the building. I'd rather pay $50 for a ticket than $50 for pay-per-view. Even better, I'd rather have my girl pay for my ticket as a birthday present and go. So,
do you think it's them trying to, like, if they can prove, if it goes well, they're kind of backing Triple G to be the A side in that Ward fight, if that's what they're planning?
Or even if they don't need him to be the A side, they know, hey, we could put it on pay-per-view because he just did 280K with Lemieux, so we'll probably do 455 with Ward. So maybe we can spend $6 million on fight purses and let them split it 50-50, and each of them makes $3 million, and that's not bad,
Yeah.
Right?
For me, I just see it as a case that they've been waiting for the fight that's going to put Triple G into, pay-per-view status, and it's not really come. So they thought, fuck it, this Lemieux's big enough, we'll just use this as, like Kev saying, as like a testing ground, and if it does okay, we'll move on. Because I think they've just, opponent after opponent's not been to the caliber of pay-per-view, and they're just using Lemieux as a testing bed to see how the numbers are.
Yeah, because he's got a bit of a James Dean about him, hasn't he? They think he could be a star golden boy, so it's a good. To see why HBO would choose to. There's a bet they can sell that story of those two fighting. I think it's a good testing ground.
I'm really surprised that De La Hoya's not trying to milk Lemieux a bit in Canada first. I know he sells tickets, and I expected him to defend that IBF a couple of times before they put in him with Golovkin. When I first heard about it, I thought, is De La Hoya back on that coke?
But they've been, De La Hoya's been out there saying, I want to make, as a promoter, I want to make the best fights. So
I know.
Stuck to his word, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess so. And thanks to him, we're gonna have another big fight this year. Canelo Cotto's around that time as well. Actually, you know what? October, November times is looking quite good.
The thing is,
we've got Fury Klitschko as well.
The thing is, Ari, like, if Lemieux loses to Golovkin, it's not like he's taking an L, really, is it?
Fighting Floyd, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think he could lose to Golovkin, and then you can still rebuild him, because I presume Golovkin will probably move up in the next year and a half, and then he'll probably just try and get him a vacant belt or a shot at the title, and then rebuild Lemieux.
And if it's a really good fight, they can make themselves. They can both help each other, can't they? If it's a really good fight, if it's like a proper war, and imagine both of them got knocked down, and then Triple G comes out and wins it. It could be huge. They could really help each other.
No, I agree. Hamada, your thoughts?
I don't know. To be honest, we're in the UK and we don't really care. It's probably going to wind up on Box Station or on Sky. So, but I don't know. Pay-per-view, is Golovkin ready for pay-per-view? I don't know. It's yet to be seen. We'll find out. Then. As regards to Lemieux taking the fight, I think HBO backed him into a corner. They said, we'll pay you big money. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it's pay-per-view, so obviously they're putting the money up. So I think they couldn't turn it down, really. I mean, they really wanted to at the start. I remember straight after they beat Endam, they were saying, oh, we got to defend it against a mandatory, and they weren't even a mandatory challenger. They were coming with that kind of bullshit, but I just think it's a good fight, even though it is a mismatch when you really think about it. I mean, Golovkin is a different animal to Lemieux. Lemieux's a sloppy puncher at best, and I don't know. We're just gonna see
It's
a war and Golovkin win.
it's like Canelo Kirkland, but
Yeah,
they're having to
exactly.
pay for it. Yeah,
It's a similar fight.
but they've got 2 belts on the line, so I guess that helps trying to sell it to casuals, maybe. But what's the reaction been like? I haven't seen it. Have all the Triple G haters been shitting on it and stuff?
I don't know. Personally, I just want the Andre Ward fight, and if this means Golovkin does well on pay-per-view and we get the Andre Ward fight, say sometime next year, I don't mind. But I just want the Andre Ward fight, man.
What would you rather that than Ward fighting Kovalev?
The thing is, I want Ward to fight Golovkin first, because if he fights Kovalev first, there's no chance him fighting Golovkin, because he's going to be at 175 then. He's not going to come back down. Whereas if he fights Golovkin at super middleweight, then he can possibly move up and then fight Kovalev. Think about it, if Ward was to beat Golovkin and Kovalev, just to say if he did, I mean, that's all-time great. He's an all-time great.
I'd have to kill myself.
He'd be up there, man. He'd be an all-time great.
Kimo would kill himself. Leon would kill himself.
Definitely. If I had him as someone, no one cares about him.
The coalition would be in tatters.
He must do mind tricks on people, because he's made boxing, people who are making fights and promoters think that we care, and no one cares. No one cares about Ward. He doesn't sell tickets. People don't watch him on TV. Unbelievable.
That Ward doesn't sell tickets theory is a myth, man. In his last fight against Portsmouth, I saw a lot of people in the crowd.
That was Rock Nation. Good
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamada, his last fight before this one, he had like 3,000 sold tickets, like a couple hours from his hometown.
I think earlier in his career, he used to sell a lot of tickets. I used to see that.
And when people say he sells out the Oracle, like, it's not true. He does like
No, he doesn't sell it out. He doesn't sell it out. Obviously, that's a big arena. I mean, I heard it holds 19,000.
Yeah, it's a basketball arena. They pack them in.
When he was fighting Kessler and Cole back at the start, when he first got into the world scene, he was selling quite well there. I remember it was a packed house there.
I don't know. When he went to Atlantic City, he didn't sell tickets. Whenever he hasn't fought in the Oracle, he's done awful ticket sales.
I just don't understand how a man has been able to get away with getting everything his own way and bringing nothing to the table. Other than he's a very, very good boxer, but no one really wants to watch him fight. It's unbelievable how he's managed to get his way his whole career.
That's winning, isn't it? When you win.
It's not winning. It's just...
It is.
I mean, honestly, in my boxing lifetime, he's a blip. Like, I would forget about him in like 2 years. Well, as soon as he retires, after 2 years, I'd have forgotten about him altogether.
Yeah, we're digressing, but I'm just saying that I just want that fight. I want Golovkin to fight the best people, and I think Andre Ward's up there as one of the best.
I think the people... It's just the undertones of people just wanting Triple G to lose. It's like the new... he seems to be like the new hated fighter. That's why it just reeks of it to me every time that people want that Ward fight. People just want him to lose. You can feel it out there.
I think he beats Ward, and I want the fight because it's the two best guys at that division. And I think, back in the day, there wasn't
the Kovalev Ward and they're both unified.
Yeah, I want Kovalev Ward to fight too, but if Ward moves up and fights Kovalev, he's never coming down to fight Triple G.
But Ward's already up there, isn't he?
Yeah, but he can make 168. I mean, if he moves up and fights Kovalev, then Triple G's never going to have an opponent to fight where he's ever going to prove if he's great or not. He's going to just keep fighting C-level fighters. Like, we're talking about him fighting Lemieux, a guy who got knocked the fuck out by Rubio.
It's still, again, I don't understand why the 164 catchweight seemed to upset people so much.
Because if Ward can't make it, then the fight can't happen. Like I
don't. Also, but he drained Dawson all the way down, didn't he?
Does that make it right though?
And also, one thing is like there is that comment that Triple G's team made about they'd fight anyone from 154 to 68. So
but what does the Dawson weight matter now?
Dawson said that I'll come down to super middleweight.
Yeah, but Dawson also tried in negotiations. He tried getting it to a catch weight, and Ward wouldn't give in. So, it's bullshit that Ward did that, but now he won't. But at the end of the day, if the fight could happen at 168 and can't happen at 164, would you rather see the fight not happen, or would you rather see it happen at 168?
Personally, I don't care if I never see him ever again in my life, so I'm not bothered.
You would rather watch, Triple G versus guys he's going to knock out in 3 to 5 rounds?
Personally, yeah, probably.
The only way Golovkin can be the best in boxing and be pound for pound number one is if he fights Andre Ward. Because if he continues fighting these guys at middleweight, he won't be there. He won't be the face of boxing that everyone wants him to be. Whether you like it or not, Andre Ward is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, best in the sport.
So Hamada.
You can't be when you haven't fought anyone decent in about 5 years.
Yeah.
Fuck Ward, man. Let's get out of this black hole.
Exactly.
Leon went there. Leon started it.
Just so I can hate on him.
Pointing fingers. All right, let me get the opinion of my boy Joe Morgan. Joe, are you there?
Hello, guys.
Joe, you're not allowed to mention Andre Ward, so just stick to Lemieux and Triple G. What's your thoughts on the fight and the pay-per-view?
No, I've got a lot of time for it. I mean, when I first saw it, I was thinking, why has Oscar done that? He's got a really depleted stable and he's chucking one of his main guys in with a fucking killer. And it's not like when guys face Mayweather and they lose. Like, name me a fighter that's fought GGG and has come out and done well after he's fought them. Like, he's a fucking soul snatcher.
Murray, he's making shockwaves. He's making shockwaves.
Oh, yeah, well, obviously... I just contradicted myself there. I've been going on about the shockwaves. Oh, shit. No, man, like, you go in with GGG, that's like you're signing away your future there, mate. But good fight. I think it'll do well on PPV. They're looking for a new pay-per-view star in it to take us out of the whole Pacquiao, Cotto, Mayweather era. I think it'll do really well. I reckon maybe 300,000, 400,000 buys. What do you reckon?
Nah, I think it's going to do less than that. I think
200,
200, 250, something like that.
Yeah,
it's probably going to tank.
How much did Canelo Lara get again? Wasn't it 300?
That was like 325, no?
Yeah, I don't see it getting more than a Canelo.
But if it does do that, is that not a good number? I think it's a good number.
Yeah, 300. I guess 300 would be the marker.
I always heard, and I could be very wrong because I don't know much about it, that I think Steve Kim might have said it. It's like when you do pay-per-views, you really got to shoot for that 300K mark because then you could at least recoup and make money. But like anything below it, you're basically looking at like, what the fuck did we do? And I think that's when Top Rank made the offer to what's his name, fucking Chavez to fight Triple G. It was like anything over 300K, that's what you get a big pay-per-view cut on to make your big money. Like if you're a star, then you know you're going to do more than that. So just do it like that. So I think that's a benchmark number where if he does 300K, I think HBO is going to be jumping for joy.
Does anyone know how much is going to cost in the US pay-per-view?
Oh man, I hope it's not more than $40.
$150.
I don't know, but I'm sure it'd be more than 40K. But they're usually like minimum like 60, 70.
Yeah, recently they've been like $59.99 and all that shit. So
yeah, it just makes us Brit fans look like little whingy bastards, innit? The Americans get bent over on the pay-per-view, and
that's their own fault.
We don't let bullshit slide. Yeah. Like we're
not whingy.
We're hard. Floyd Pacquiao was £20. I paid it.
Yeah, that's a bargain, really.
Yeah, it's a bargain, really, to be honest. But at the same time, they want to sell us bullshit like Brooke Gavin for 17. So
yeah, that was the stat card, Ari. Come on.
Yeah, I know. All right. For example,
value.
Yeah. Anyone who bought that's a mug, but
Like anyone who bought Fight Pass is a mug, like me.
Did you actually buy it?
Did you buy it? I got sucked in. I thought, but the thing is though, if he'd have made one massive, say Khan Brook had been made at Wembley, I'd have got my money's worth because I would have got decent tickets for that. But he goes and makes 0 fights this year, so he just mugs us all off.
I knew that shit was a scam from the off, and
Did you get a t-shirt?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. wear it in the gym like fucking Matchroom Team Matchroom, innit? Nah, shit, man. But no, I just want to say like Billy Joe Saunders is a bum, doesn't live the life. But Adam Booth is the real Dark Lord, isn't he? Anyone who leaves him just gets done over, and fighters just immediately improve when they go under his tutelage. Like Andy Lee has turned into this counter-punching beast that was beaten originally by fucking Vera and Chavez, and now like I reckon he knocks Billy Joe out.
I don't think so. I think Billy Joe wins this fight.
Yeah, I was telling Hamada actually. I think I'm picking Lee.
I'm picking Lee.
At the moment,
I think it's going to go the exact same way as all his other fights. He'll probably lose the first 3 or 4 rounds and just clock him.
I don't see Saunders surviving 12 rounds. I just don't see it.
I don't like how Andy Lee's talking. Andy Lee keeps saying things like he's giving out the wrong signals. He says stuff like, "Oh, I know I'm gonna be behind. I know the difference between me and him's power." And you can't just keep going into every fight you're in relying on your power, because you might not knock the guy out. Like he didn't knock out Peter Quillen.
But he's not just a power puncher. He's a better boxer than that.
He's so much bigger than Saunders as well. That's what shocked me, the height difference.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all in height. He's skinny. Lee's physically weak as well.
But reach as well.
Billy Joe will think he'll be out of range, and then boom, right hook.
So I'm sure Billy Joe's come across tall fighters before, man. It's not an issue,
And he's not going to have his little Frank Warren refs to bail him out, like when Eubank was putting the heat on him in that fight, and that was some fucking shocking refereeing, wasn't it? Where he'd break them up, check that Billy Joe would recover a little bit, and then let them keep boxing. Ain't going to be none of that now.
I thought Billy Joe took Eubank's bombs fine. I didn't see Eubank hurt him.
I didn't see him land clean on him.
No, he did hurt him in the later rounds. Come on,
he did.
He probably landed some good shots, but that doesn't mean that he was hurt.
Big time.
I don't know, man.
The thing that's sticking in... Sorry to cut you off, Ahmad. The thing that's sticking in my head is when Billy Joe fought John Ryder, another southpaw. It was a very kind of close tactical match, and I think Billy Joe probably just got a nod because it was on a warrant card. And I'm thinking maybe he's not that good against southpaws, but having said that, maybe Lee's have the same situation and have the same issue.
But look at the caliber of fights. That's the other thing that's a big difference. He's fought the much better fighters than Lee.
Yep.
I don't know. I think Billy Joe's fought some good guys. I think Spike and Chris Eubank is good opponents.
But he hasn't fought a world-class fighter.
Yeah, would Billy Joe beat Quillen?
No.
But Andy Lee didn't beat Quillen.
And you're going to say that.
No, but to be honest, he did, because that one of the knockdowns was a slip.
Yeah.
So,
but all I'd say is...
For that, he would have won.
Yeah, I don't trust Billy Joe to last this fight.
And fair play to Warren, like he's got a very depleted stable, but at the moment, that's one of the best fights that have been made for the end of the year. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to ask. Sorry to go on, Joe.
No, I'm just saying, like, fair play, Warren. Like he's pulled it out of the bag a little bit with that. I think that'll be a good crowd there.
I was going to ask you, Harry, do you think that should be a star fight in the prediction league or what?
Yeah, man, it has to be.
About that.
I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, it's 50-50. So
and it's going to be a big fight. 35,000 people possibly.
Yeah, I think that has to be a star fight. That.
I've only seen one star fight. Like Canelo Kirkland, isn't it?
Porter
and Broner.
All right, yeah.
We got one next week, Joe. Don't worry.
Campbell Doyle.
Rumble in the Humber.
What? Well, we got to put 2 star fights then, because Jones and Rose, yeah.
The rematch.
Hey, Jones said that his daughter hits harder than Rose.
Showcase that banter that Eddie Hearn looks for.
Maybe we should put 3-star fights because Ricky Burns is on the undercard as well.
Oh, stop it.
But yo,
does he fight?
Dillian White's on the undercard, Harry.
Who?
Dillian White.
Yeah.
I know, but we let Hearn tell it. He's got a hurt hand though.
That's why I kind of want to shit on it, because the reason why the White Josh fight didn't get made is because apparently White's injured. So why is White fighting on this undercard?
Nah, but I think White had issues with his trainer, man. His trainer got into a big accident. And I think it was a hit and run. And I think he's in a bad way.
By AJ, was it?
Nah.
Hey, come on.
That's not something to joke about, Joe.
Yeah, I know. That's not it.
Good one, Joe. Enjoyed that.
No, I think he's just putting him out there to try and get him in the face of the casuals before he slaps pay-per-view on the December show with AJ.
Apparently, Dillian's going to be on the September show as well. So.
Yeah, I think Joe's right. I think you're just showing him to the public, saying, "Yo, this guy's a beast."
They're going to get the classic Ed Robinson in the ring, try and get him to beef with each other in front of everyone at the end of the show.
Yep. Can't wait
That's
till Saturday night.
for you, innit?
They'll do it in December. Call it the Christmas cracker. We shot. Christmas has come early.
All those taglines.
Exactly. Horrible.
All right, Joe. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. What'd you make of this Hearns 2-fight offer to Frampton?
What? I didn't hear about this.
Circles. But what's the? It's all good saying 2-fight, but I want to know what the percentages are.
Yeah, the thing is though, if he says 2-fight, but they've already agreed on 60-40 in both the fights, then obviously
I don't think it'd be that. What it should be is 60-40 Frampton first fight. Whoever wins gets 60-40 in the second fight, or if Frampton wins, 70-30 in the second fight. That's what I say.
It's all like Hearn applying pressure to Frampton because he's got the mouthpiece of Sky, and Frampton has got nothing. So it's just turning public opinion against Frampton that he's ducking.
Of course, it's publicity stunt, man. Eddie Hearn knows what he's doing. He's trying to make them look bad. That's what he's been doing the whole time.
But I think
this time.
I think if McGuigan wasn't there, I think the fight would have been made by now.
The same could be said if Hearn weren't there. Maybe the fight could have been made. Who knows?
But I think Hearn is far less likely to.
I'm going to say one thing about Hearn, and I think Hamada said it as well, and some people have been saying it on forums, and it's so true that the problem with Hearn is he struggles to make these big fights. He's taking the piss out of guys, or he shits on them. Then they don't like you, so they don't want to be on cards with you to help you make money, and that's the problem where he needs to learn that negotiating, it's not good to be, if you're trying to negotiate with people, you can't be trying to always do little digs at them, and you see the stuff he does with Khan, Frampton, Groves as well. None of these fights have happened because they don't like you, Hearn. So he needs to change up his tactics, in my opinion, for any of these fights to happen. And that's what I'd say. And I know a lot of people think the same, so I'm just saying it for everyone, really.
Yep, totally agree.
Yeah, man, that's true. And Hearn's a cunt as well. Why is he putting Ricky Burns on Tommy Collier's undercard? Is he taking a piss? Ricky Burns is a two-weight world champion. He's taking a piss out of Ricky Burns. He sends Ricky Burns to America and doesn't even care. He doesn't even go to America because he's got a card in Birmingham, and makes him fight a Mexican American in Texas. Obviously, he's not going to get a fair crack at the whip. Figueroa didn't even make the weight, and now he's making him fight on Tommy Collier's undercard.
Yeah, but Hamada, you got to realise that Burns is essentially starting his career from scratch because of the lawyer fees from the Warren court case. So he's probably got to get out as often as he can.
I just think...
You know what? We actually need to make a segment for Hamada called Hearn is a cunt, because he says this every week.
The truth, though, how's Ricky Burns on Tommy Collier's undercard? That's a joke.
Get a little jingle going for it.
Yeah, but Hamada, I don't know why you're even surprised that promoters are cunts. Like, what is it? The sky's blue, rivers are full of water. That's just the way of the world, mate. What promoter out there isn't a cunt, really? Any successful promoter?
Yeah, they're all scumbags.
They're all the same, but I don't like none of them.
You're only hating on Hearn because he's the biggest. I'd rather Hearn be as big as he is than fucking Warren. Fucking hell.
I don't know, man. They're all the same.
Warren's track record is a lot better. He's made better fights.
Chemo's going to be listening to this segment tomorrow, and he's going to think, nah, man, Cafe Diva, because for some reason Chemo's got a thing for Cafe Diva.
Nah, what? But if you look at Warren's track record of making big fights, it pisses on Eddie Hearn's little stable.
If you look at Warren's track record of paying people, it probably doesn't fucking look
Whoa,
too well.
whoa. Don't go there, don't go there.
What do you mean don't go there? That's true.
So you're gonna get us sued,
That's what I'm trying to say. You have to say allegedly,
You're gonna
mate.
get letters in the morning, mate.
We know he's
Well,
against
hey, I got you on speaker. I'm on the computer.
But
Yeah.
Oh,
Yo,
come on,
Kev, man, mute yourself, Kev.
Hey, kick him out, Cam.
Might just hang up on him in case he gives
Cam,
any
save him.
personal information out.
Cam, save him.
Yeah, I've saved him.
Yeah. Don't want Kev's personal life getting out there. But yeah, let's get out of this war in Black Hole as well, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on.
Right. Anything else for us, Joe?
No, that's it. I think I've caused enough ructions for one evening.
Have you got a dig for Rob Palmer? He's coming on in a bit.
Oh,
he slagged you off last time.
Flag waving dickhead.
Stay on, because Rob's probably going to respond to you. Rob, you got any response?
I missed what he said because I just had to switch off the Mixler chat.
He said that you're a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's a lovely bloke.
Joe's been repping Team Matchroom today. I like it, Joe. Team Matchroom. He's got the T-shirt. He's got the lot.
I'll endorse the hatred when it's deserved, innit? But like, we don't want to get too salty on it, do we?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't get the problem with Ricky Burns being on an undercard. What's he going to do? Main event in Scotland? Like, he's not at that level no more.
Ricky Burns probably didn't even lose his last fight. I scored the Figueroa fight a draw. Ricky Burns should be in bigger fights, man.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? He's going to take, what is this, an 8-rounder or whatever, and then he'll come back and have a big fight.
See, these 8-rounders is the problem, Rob.
He'll get fed to Luke Campbell, innit?
This is the problem, man. I don't like these 8-rounders.
No, but this is what happens. These fighters need to, like, get the rust off, get back in the win, and then they can go and have a big fight. But I guarantee you if
3 months ago, Rob.
I guarantee you if Burns was going into a big fight now, you guys would complain that he's coming off a loss.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't complain.
We don't think he lost.
Yeah.
No, he lost. He still lost the fight.
No, he didn't.
He did
I fought it to him.
And the ref jobbed him, but he didn't win.
The ref giving away pointless point deductions. I'm not calling that a loss.
I mean, that fight should have been null and void after that ref performance. That's one of the worst ref performances I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I don't like, me personally, bro, I just don't like how Matchroom are pushing Crawler and Mitchell and all these other guys, and it seems like they're not even pushing Burns anymore.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, it's not like Burns didn't get pushed. Like, they got Crawford to Scotland. They
gave him a murderer's role. When they signed him, they made him fight tough fight after tough fight after tough fight. He wasn't getting no soft touches.
Yeah, but what? So if
that's what he asked for.
No. If Hearn started bringing over guys for him to bash up, you'd be the first one complaining about that he fights bums.
He's a world champion. You've got to fight good fights.
Yeah, so he thought his mandatory was that Gonzalez guy that nobody had even ever seen a video of. That was a surprise, and it turned out he had a glass heart. Then Beltran, everybody was happy about that fight. That was a good fight that he should have won. And in fact, you know, they backed him by backing the judges, didn't they? They had the judges in the pocket, so they sorted him out there. And then they could have shipped him off to wherever to get Crawford to make extra money fighting Crawford, but they managed to get him over to Scotland. And then they got him Zlatacanin. He was supposed to beat Zlatacanin, and
what about Zlatacanin? That was terrible matchmaking. A big punch in southpaw.
This is what, you know...
And that's meant to be his comeback fight. That's meant to be his kind of like, you know, his tune up to get back in the rankings. And they brought him over a big punch and undefeated southpaw.
This is what... Do you know, I've heard this same thing about the PBC. People saying, they're not good matchmakers because they put their fighters in tough fights. Like, it's one or the other. Like, if you put them in easy fights where the style is made for them and they're going to win, people are going to complain. You put them in a tough fight... it's bad matchmaking and not making people look good. I mean, it's one or the other, isn't it?
We're impossible to please, boxing fans.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's hard.
No, but I think...
You get what I'm saying, John, right?
I get what you're saying. He left Warren because he wanted big fights. So you can't then complain that he got tough fights and big...
as well.
So, you know...
Yeah.
He did all right out of it. He got a couple of robberies, didn't he?
Yeah, but it's funny you said he left Frank and that for big fights when they had the Adrian Broner fight there for him.
Yeah, that is true. He did turn that down, didn't he?
Big fight, shit money, maybe.
And you know what? Looking back, the way Ricky was fighting then, and the way that Ricky's style when he was at his best, throws a lot of punches, and he's probably a big lightweight. He might have actually had a shot.
It's funny now. You put Burns and Broner in together. That's even though I still think Broner beats him. I still think it's a good fight.
Yeah.
It's just that Broner was he had such a huge buzz then that people just thought it was a mismatch. But
yeah, people thought Broner was a killer, didn't they?
Yeah,
he was a lightweight.
Yeah, but what about what do you guys want to talk about?
I was going to say, let's switch the subject up, Rob. You got any topics for us?
Well, I mean, the Triple G Lemieux thing, on its own, it's a really good fight, and I'm excited about it. But it shouldn't be pay-per-view, to be honest. As a HBO subscriber, your expectations are that you get fights like this as part of your subscription. And I feel I know HBO cut their budget, apparently they cut it in half, so it seems like it's the same deal with Sky, where every time it's a good fight, it's going to be pay-per-view now. I mean, we've had to watch Triple G in 90-10 fights for 3 years, and now he's in at 80-20 and it's pay-per-view. Just, I don't know, seems a bit strange, especially when your competition is putting on 3 fights, I guarantee you Heyman's going to put a good fight on October 17th. He'll do Furman versus Porter.
Yeah, I think you're
is
right.
Is it pay-per-view in Canada?
Yeah, it will be.
Canada pay-per-view everything, apparently.
Yeah, a pay-per-view for every fight.
Stevenson
will do quite well then.
In calendar.
I heard normal HBO stuff, say Pascal fights or Lemieux fights, they don't get the HBO feed. They change it up and put on pay-per-view over there. So yeah, Canada get raped a lot. And
Ari versus Roos would be pay-per-view in Canada.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Them Canadians need to step the game up, man. Stop paying for that shit, man. Put your foot down.
What about Buffer's in the house for the big one this weekend?
Oh God, what did he get wrong this week?
When I heard that,
is he gonna change his catchphrase to
let's get ready to rumble in the humble?
I don't see. This is the thing. See, again, I don't want to be too salty, but I don't want to hear Hearn crying about anything. He doesn't really cry about budgets, but I don't want to hear nothing about budgets because this guy brings over Buffer, and I'm sure Buffer's rate is 40,000. He brings him over every chance he gets. Why don't you beef up the card a bit more with that? I don't think we really need Buffer these kind of fights. I only want to see him when it's a big fight.
Yep.
You got Buffer coming over for fucking Campbell Coyle. I don't see Coyle now.
And he's fucking stumbling through his words now as well. It's not like he's all slick and perfect like he was 5-6 years ago.
I've always rated Jimmy Lennon higher than Michael Buffer. Buffer's got the catchphrase, but Lennon's the one.
Yeah, Lennon's more on point. When when Lennon is reading the scorecards out, you know what I'm trying to say? It's much better, than Buffer. Buffer makes mistakes, man.
But Jimmy Lennon, he gives them their own nicknames. If they're a big puncher, he calls them hard hitting, or it'll be when it was Ricky Hatton, it'll be the popular, things like that. It's just cool the way he does it. You tell he knows the fighters. But Buffer, I don't know, maybe Buffer's rates have gone down because he's not on the PBC, so maybe it's easier to get him over.
Yeah, it's a shame he can bring Buffer over every time. He can't bring a decent opponent for Kelvin.
You know what, they must see there must be a return on investment. It must be the thought of the casuals will come and now enjoy it so much, and Buffer's part of it, so they'll want to come again, kind of thing. There must be that. That's why they come back and see it.
I actually think they should try and groom a UK guy, to become a big deal in the UK and just use him, because like Buffer and Jimmy Lennon, man, they're both pretty old, man. I think maybe they should get some young blood in there, and if you're making a UK guy step up a bit, then at least, especially if he's affiliated to your promotion, then it's gonna be better, because like fucking Buffer can't do it forever, man. Dementia's gonna be kicking in soon.
They should just get
Jeff to tell it.
They should get a girl to do it. Just a seriously fit, 10 out of 10, absolute worldie. Just get in a nice short dress. I'm getting a bit Billy Joe Saunders here, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Just have some fresh girls looking good.
There's some terrible MCs in the UK as well.
Oh,
man.
that
Mark
guy.
Burgess.
I don't agree with
Mark
that.
Burgess is shocking.
He's an actor as well. That's a joke.
UK guys, they struggle to like call out decisions. Like they're weird. You know what I mean? They say the words wrong, and they like say it's a draw. They'll act like someone's won, and then at the end you realize it's a draw, and they haven't told you it's a draw and stuff like that. It's just that. Nah, man, the UK guys are all terrible.
I remember one of them said, "Oh, we have a majority decision, but it was actually a split decision." Like they just fuck up, man.
Like I remember they fucked up on the Crawler, shit, what's his name?
Yeah, Buffer fucked up.
Crawler Reese fight. They messed up on that. I'm sure they did. Whoever it was, that British guy. But
it's the Matchroom guy, innit? It's the guy that
he's crap.
Yeah, that guy's crap, man. It's like he's shouting.
Alright, let's get out of this commentator, not commentator, but I guess announcer black hole. Rob, you got anything else for us?
You know, I agreed with everything you guys were saying about the whole Stevenson Kovalev purse bids thing.
I agree with everything. What are you, Rob? Or Rob?
Yeah. No, I was happy, Kev, that I like the objectivity when what you were saying. You know what I mean? That you be the first person to shit on the Heyman side, but in this case, Duva's kind of fucked up. Basically, like, I understand. If I was Kathy Duva, I would have done the same thing. But as a fan, it's shit, because she's basically saying I need to look after my whole stable rather than what's best for Kovalev. What's best for Kovalev is going and fighting on whoever pays him the most money. He'll probably have to fight 10 times to make what he make against Stevenson.
What do you think? Oh, so you think that she's worried if, he goes over there to fight on whatever network, they fight Stevenson, that Duva's worried that her other main event fighters might not get HBO time slots?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that basically I think what HBO are probably doing is saying you're either with us, right, or you're with Heyman, and pick sides. Otherwise, we're not going to give you dates. And if you're not loyal to HBO, then they'll just cut you.
I hear that. But still, I mean, I just feel like, he's so active that he could fight one fight, come back a bigger star, and it doesn't really hurt anybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, like, this bullshit about now they're going to have a fight in Russia that's not on HBO. Why didn't they do this fight off HBO? The fight that nobody wanted to see against Mohammedi. Take care of those mandatories. Also, what's going to happen if, let's say, Heyman gets his guys in position, because he's got all the other light heavyweights. Let's say he gets Fonfara mandatory for the WBA and Beterbiev mandatory for the WBO, and then he goes and wins the purse bids. Kovalev's just going to vacate those titles. So they'll just start putting their guys in as mandatories until he's got no belts.
And it looks like Fonfara is the
situation for them.
Yeah. And it looks like Fonfara is going to be the next mandatory for the WBA, so we will see what they'll do with that. So yeah, you're right about that, Rob.
The WBA will just make a new title.
So why are we thinking Cleverly doesn't fucking waste Fonfara? Let's back up a little bit here.
Are you serious, Joe?
Mate, just
that Cleverly's got a shot there, Cleverly can win.
No shot.
He's got no shot. He's soulless.
Mate, you should rewatch Cleverly's light heavyweight days. Kid was a beast.
So
make that a 2-star fight so that me and Joe are in the points.
You know what? Yeah, Cleverly at light heavyweight before he got knocked out by Kovalev, like against Fonfara, I would actually pick Cleverly, but I think Cleverly's done now, man. He just in boxing it's a payday, man. He could have had the fight with Braemar, which they could have sold as a world title fight, but he chose to fight Fonfara instead because he's getting more money. So it just blatantly shows that he's just fighting for money now, Cleverly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I just don't think it's a done deal. Like, I don't rate Fonfara that much. He beat Chavez. What did he do? I could beat Chavez right now.
Gave Stevenson his best fight.
Yeah, he knocked Stevenson down when all the whole round.
He's got some other decent wins against B-level. When you actually box wreck him and you get past like where he was a lower weight fighter and steroid type whatever, he's beat some names. I mean, a lot of them I guess were over the hill like Glenn Johnson and stuff. But if you look at his box rec, and I did because MV Chu used to end him up and I used to shit on him, and I was like, you know what? All things considered, he's probably right up there with like either number 3, 4, or 5 light heavyweight right now. He's basically the top 5 light heavyweight.
It's a good fight. It is a good fight, isn't it?
Joe, let me just play triangle theories, innit, for a minute.
No, but Chu's not here. Play devil's advocate, too.
Because, look, Fonfara gave Stevenson his toughest fight. Stevenson knocked out Bellew easily, and Bellew is meant to
don't
be
give me that
this
shit.
guy. And Bellew beat Cleverly.
I'll stop you right there, mate. Mohammedi, you're full of shit.
I'm just messing about. Man.
That was fat ghost of Cleverly, though. That wasn't the real Cleverly's 175.
Yeah, that was fish and chips Cleverly.
Wherever
you're eating in that pub. Or it wasn't even a pub, actually. Where was
it? Was a chip shop. It was at Quigg's fish and chip shop.
Pie and mash. He's eating pie and mash.
Yeah, he was
Two pies and
mash.
I remember when Cleverly was lying, saying, I'm going to be better at cruiserweight, the speed's going to go out, the power. Do you remember when he was talking about that bullshit?
But the problem was...
It's my natural weight, there.
So to get up to the weight, he looked like he chewed off his own right arm, because he didn't throw that all night, did he? He didn't throw it all night. That was one of the worst performances I've ever... That was a massive disappointment.
No, it's obvious he was injured, but didn't want to pull out, because...
Payday.
He'd been gnawing on it.
Hard as well. You know, Herman sort of paid him more.
I was upset. Sir Joe had to sit ringside for that.
Oh.
It tells you how bad Bellew is when it was a split decision and he had one arm and he actually won a few rounds. I mean.
Was it a split decision?
Yeah.
A split?
He won no rounds. He won no rounds.
Get banned.
Seriously, what judge was trolling Bellew? I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah,
they got CJ Ross in for that fight.
You'll never guess who it was. Well, you will guess.
Ian John Lewis.
Oh, no, it wasn't him. It was the person who tried to save him versus Kovalev.
Terry O'Connor. Terry O'Connor's always had a soft spot for Cleverly.
Yeah, after you've got crushed him Cleverly. Because he tried to tag team Kovalev, and he somehow tried to get him the decision versus Bellew. Didn't even throw a right hand to save his life.
I remember, he was gone. Like, Cleverly was finished, and he took Cleverly to the corner in the Kovalev fight.
Yeah, he put his arm over Cleverly and sort of limped him back to the corner for him. I expected him to get the sponge out and start fucking working him over. Oh, shit.
But how did you guys score the Pascal fight? Because I didn't think it was a robbery like HBO was saying, I scored it a draw, personally.
Yep.
I couldn't see Pascal winning it. Like, if it was going to go the other way, it'd be for that Gonzalez guy, but...
That's what Hamada said. Hamada said the same thing.
I said the exact same thing as you, Rob, man.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
That's a kind of a robbery, isn't it? Because basically you're saying no way... Just let me finish. You're just saying there's no way he won that fight.
Who, Pascal?
Aren't you? You're saying it's a draw or Gonzalez wins.
Well, I'm not saying no way, but I'm saying that if anybody won it, it was Gonzalez.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone scored it for Pascal, did they?
Yeah.
Someone did, but I ain't going to say his name.
Who? Tell us.
Nah, I'd rather not.
Nez scored it for Pascal. Is that who it was?
I have no comment.
Alright, I think it was Nez. Nez and ringside.
Nah, I thought
I'm surprised they watched it if it wasn't on the PVC.
Yeah. You know what the thing is with HBO and Harold Lederman, he just scores fights based on aggression, basically, and like landed punches. He don't take into account like defense or any of that stuff that you're supposed to take into account as well. And there's an interview where he says that. He goes, yeah, basically you just ignore that stuff and just count landed punches.
Nah, I don't agree with that. I remember Harold, I think was it Harold Lederman or Steve Weisfeld? I don't know. You know how they got the other Steve. One of them, I'm not sure who it was, but they had Lara beating Paul Williams. So I don't know about that.
That's like Lukey, my boy Lukey likes the boxer, and he tends to be shaded that way when he does predictions.
That's my biggest issue with scoring is when people are like, well, I prefer this. Oh, like it's not about what you prefer.
It's when you let biases influence your cards, you know?
Yeah, there's a set of rules and you have to follow it. You can't just be like, well, I prefer this style, because that's how you get corruption in the sport, because the rules aren't clear. And if you're a promoter, you don't have to pay off the judges. You can just be like, well, I've got an aggressive fighter. These judges favour aggressive boxers, so I'm going to pick these 3 judges to be the judges for this fight. The rules just need to be cleared up, you know?
Do the promoters actually choose the judges, or is it the sanctioning body?
Well, I think
the promoters bring them in and pay them.
Yeah, the promoters have more influence than they should, put it that way.
Yeah, that's dodgy, man.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to next week's? Sorry?
Oh, Cam, before I go, I'm going to set up a Fantasy Premier League, and I'll send you the stuff, send it out on Twitter.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I already told him, Rob.
Yeah,
I think I did.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Right,
Yo, Rob, before you go, who you got? Coy or Campbell?
I got the fans. The fans are the real winners here.
The people of Hull.
I even seen somewhere, apparently it's East Hull versus West Hull.
Mate, that's beef.
Biggie
it's like
and
Biggie
Tupac.
and Tupac, mate.
I'm surprised I'm not going to just wake up Sunday morning and see Eddie Hearn wanking off the Humber Bridge. You fucking bums, Hull.
Who's West Side and who's East Side in that?
I don't know.
Coil's East. Coil's East.
Coil's West.
Do you know what? I'll rate it if they come out to Biggie and Tupac as like each of their songs.
I didn't even know Hull was big enough to have an East or West Side.
It's all about their rugby league, isn't it? They split down the middle. They've got two rugby league teams.
I've heard
That's where it all comes from.
I've heard they've had to section away the Coil fans from the Campbell fans.
Trouble.
They're animals up there, man. There'll be blood in the streets.
It's going to go down in history. The greatest
You know
day.
how it's Leon. Anyone outside the M25 is an animal.
There's plenty of animals inside the M25 as well. Shit.
All right, Joe, Rob, we're going to let you go.
Peace out.
All right, take care, boys. Thanks for jumping on. All right, fellas, let's move on to next week, I guess. Start off with Paulie Malignaggi and Nez's boy, Danny Garcia.
Danny Gift Garcia.
Danny, the catchweight king, has actually gone to an actual weight now.
Fighting a light welterweight though.
And a light puncher. How many knockouts? 5 or 6?
I think it's 4.
Terrible. That's
a future legend. That's a future legend you're talking about. So
that's Josh Warrington stuff. That's some feather-fisted shit.
No,
the fight's getting a lot of promotion in New York. It's on the radio and all that. Yeah.
It should. If that doesn't sell well, then I don't know what will. To be honest, in New York, because everyone loves Paulie. Really,
no one's ever pronounced Paulie's name right on any of the promotion commercials.
How do they say it?
I don't know. Malinagi. Nothing's ever right. But ESPN's posting it on their the biggest shows. They'll slip something in like this Saturday or this Friday, whatever it is. So they're getting some pump. They're putting some juice behind it.
Yo, Kevin, are you gonna go to it?
Oh no, I could care less about that fight.
You should go, man.
Nah.
Yeah, man, it's got another world champion on it, man. Danny Jacobs, man, he's the best middleweight in it.
Oh, that's my boy too, Danny Jacobs. But
Oh yeah, I forgot he's your boy. But nah,
I
man,
can't
he's a
do
class.
that. And Sergio Mora just has a habit of being in boring, ugly fights.
Oh, he's a horrible fighter.
Yeah, right. Every fight
Yeah.
he's in is boring.
He's
The worst thing is, I don't think Jacobs will knock him out, so that'll be 12 rounds of struggle. So yeah.
I don't know. I got a feeling this card's going to be decent. You know, I don't know why.
Not that fight, though.
Not that. I don't know. I don't know. I was impressed with Jacobs against in his last fight against what was the guy's name?
Truax.
You can't even remember him.
Caleb Truax. Yeah.
Yeah, Truax.
No, but you know what? He finished him late, and it showed that he had power late in the fight. I agree. He probably won't stop Mora, but I don't think it'll be a shit fight. I think it'll be decent. You know.
No, I think it's going to be horrible. It'll be a 12 round UD to just be wrestling.
Wrestling. Think positive, guys. Be positive.
Yeah, that's true.
Who you guys picking then? And what method of victory?
You talking about Jacobs still?
No, yeah. Go on. Go for Jacobs, then we'll go to Garcia Malignaggi.
Jacobs, of course, but it's just about knockout or points. But I'll go knockout actually, because I remember now Mora's actually been getting dropped a couple times in his recent fights, so maybe the chin's starting to go a bit.
Okay, Hamada, who are you picking?
I'm waiting for Nelta to see who he's picking, then I'm gonna pick the other guy.
That's my tactics, man. Don't bite my style.
Nah, I got Jacobs in this fight, man. What can you say? Mora doesn't really pose a threat. I think.
What's the method of victory, though?
Probably points. I think Mora will stink it out and survive. But I think the only way you can beat Jacobs is if you knock him out. I don't think Mora will knock him out. I think Jacobs is a good boxer, so I think Jacobs will take the decision.
Kev?
I think I'm going with Jacobs. If it goes to the distance, he's going to get the scorecards.
Leon?
Yeah, Jacobs UD in a horrible fight.
I might pick Jacobs late stoppage, maybe like 10th or 11th. Let's move on to Malignaggi and Danny Garcia. Ari, how do you see the fight playing out? Who do you think is going to win?
When the fight first announced, even though no one really wants to see it, I was thinking I could see Paulie, outboxing him. But no, I'm going with Garcia. I think Garcia's looking quite big, and I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't care at the same time. I realize how much I don't care about this fight because it's got close, and I only realized it was this week, like earlier today. So. But I'll go with Garcia. But I don't know if he'll knock out Paulie. I just don't see Paulie getting caught by one of them hooks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Paulie's on his toes and right, but I see Garcia winning the decision most probably because I trust Paulie's chin, even though Porter blitzed him. I don't see Garcia doing that kind of blitz on him, so I'll go with Garcia most probably UD.
I'll probably do the same.
But imagine if Paulie does go back like the Judah fight or something like that and puts on a good performance and he actually somehow wins, but you most probably get robbed anyway, innit? It's Danny.
Yeah, I kind of want to pick Malignaggi, man, but it's just those points, man. I can't risk losing those points. I'm dropping down the league. So, Kev, what's your thoughts on the fight? Who are you picking?
I don't know, man. I didn't even think about it. I just feel that Paulie just got destroyed in his last real fight. He got laid the fuck out by Porter. So if Danny Jacobs doesn't knock this dude out or just beat him down the way Cotto did, then Jacobs is just done. I mean, not Jacobs. Garcia is just done. So I got to pick Garcia because I can't think he's that bad that he can't do that to Paulie, an old Paulie. So I don't know, late stoppage by Garcia. If not, there's no need to ever watch him again.
Hamadi?
It's actually who I want. I don't even know who I want to win. I can't stand both guys. But if I was to pick, I have to go with Garcia because Peterson beat him and Herrera beat him, but they didn't get it on the judges' card, so I don't think Paulie will. And then Paulie, if it's close, you know, Paulie's gonna cry and say, "Oh, the judges," you know, like he cried after the Broner fight, and that's what he's gonna do. He's a cunt, Paulie.
That's actually a good way of thinking about it, like with the whole Peterson fight and Herrera fight. I never thought of it from that angle, but yeah, it's a good point. Leon?
They both beat him, and they never got it, so I think the only way you can beat Danny Garcia is if you kill him.
Just take a strap in there.
Even if you knock him down and he's really hurt, I think the ref will count to 20 or something. Like, Heyman don't want Danny losing.
You know, Terry O'Connor should be the ref. Leon?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think Malignaggi might make Garcia look horrible again, you know, like the other guys have done recently. But I think he'll get it. I think it might be a split decision. Because if Malignaggi can, you know, do what he does, he can make Garcia look very sloppy, like previous people. So, yeah, split decision to Garcia, though. You know, a mild robbery again.
Yeah, I think Paulie's inactivity is going to be an issue as well. Just, you know, he's not really fought for that long. He was in training for was it Khan's undercard a couple of months ago, but pulled out due to cut.
Yeah, he done a hay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's definitely going to be an issue, and I don't know. You know, when you see the PBC broadcast and Showtime broadcast, and he does look a bit fat, you know, out of any type of camp. So I don't know.
Why do they keep picking these style of fights for Garcia though? Like, it's his kryptonite. People who can move, box. It just seems, but maybe they don't want to put him with a puncher. I mean, so strange how his career's fallen off a cliff, isn't it?
Yeah.
How come Paulie has no power? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Because he's got brittle hands. He's broken his hands.
Oh, he's got brittle hands.
Yeah.
Oh.
Since he first turned pro, his hands used to break nearly every fight and shit like that.
Yeah, but Gary Russell breaks his hands every fight, but he still carries a fair bit of pop.
Yeah, but he most probably pulls his punches now, innit, because of his hands. Maybe it's a mental thing.
Yeah, probably still.
But I don't think he's ever really had power, to be honest, you know. But yeah, he ain't got power, simple, really.
All right, let's move on to the Rumble in the Humble.
The fight of the week.
The fight of the week should be a star fight, to be honest, but yeah. I mean, is it easy work for Luke Campbell or what?
Yeah, I think it's light work, you know, and I think because, you know, Campbell turned pro and he kind of been overshadowed a bit by Joshua because, you know, they both turned pro together. They're both gold medalists from London, but obviously the Joshua hype's crazy. So, you know, Campbell doesn't really get that much buzz, but I think after his fight, after he beats a credible guy like Coyle, that he'll start getting a buzz behind him and fans and stuff like that. But I've always liked Campbell, and you know, even though he hasn't really fought anyone, I like what I see. And he's very big for a lightweight. I'm surprised he makes lightweight. You know, he's tall and he's quite muscly as well. He's put on a lot of muscle since he turned pro. I think he'll get Coyle out there inside 6. You know, like Coyle's fragile a bit. I think Derry Matthews broke his chin. You know, his chin hasn't been the same since he got knocked out in that fight. I see Coyle knocking him out around round 5 or 6.
Yeah,
that's how I see it going.
I remember like Marty Geffen dropped Coyle as well, innit? And
and that guy, that Mexican that Campbell beat easy. Remember that fight?
Daniel Brizuela.
Brizuela.
Yeah, I agree.
Doesn't look right.
I might pick like 5th round knockout. You know, I think it's easy work for Campbell. I agree with you. Kev, have you seen much of either guy, or do you want to just skip it?
Skip it.
All right, Hamada, you?
I think Coyle. Sorry, not Coyle. I think Campbell's gonna win. He'll probably get to Coyle somewhere down the line, but I don't think I'm not as high on Campbell as a lot of other people. I'm yet to see what the hype's about. Yeah, he's tall for the weight. He's a southpaw. I don't know. just not as sold on him as other people are. But I think
you're not sold on anyone, though, are you?
Nah, yeah, I'm sold on a lot of people, man. Don't worry about that. But
just not British white fighters. I'm joking.
No, but
I'm joking.
I think Koyo's a good fight for him at this stage of his career. Still, I think Koyo's probably, as a matchup, is better than anyone Joshua's fought. You know what I'm trying to say? I think Koyo will at least come and have a go. He'll come, he'll throw punches. Even if he gets knocked out, even if he gets knocked down, he'll get back up. I think it'll be a good test. I just want to see what Campbell's like when punches are coming back, because we've yet to see anyone hit him back yet, I
still can't believe this is a stadium fight as well, It's at Craven Park Stadium. I wonder how many numbers it will do attendance-wise.
I think like around 30,000.
Nah. It's not looking that much. Apparently, it's about. I saw something on Twitter saying something about they've done about 15,000.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think they're looking to get 20, but max. I don't think they'll get more than that.
Okay.
Shit, man! If you do that, man, you might as well just do it in an indoor venue.
So
British summer, man. I don't know about you guys, but it's been pissing down up here, so.
Yeah, the weather.
Yeah, it's been bad. Yeah.
Recently.
That might be a washout on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the weather. Actually, I'm gonna check it now.
If only, hopefully it rains real hard, and because the whole card gets taken off.
Nah, but I want to see Carson Jones and Brian Rose's rematch, though. Come on, bro.
I think Carson Jones is gonna knock him out again.
And let me just get Leon's opinion on the Campbell fight. What are you picking as your prediction league
I'm
pick?
trying to Google how big that stadium is, because that's at the rugby league ground. It's not at the football ground, is it? Yeah.
No.
So that'll only probably hold 20,000.
It's Craven Park Stadium.
Yeah, I don't think it's like the big. Yeah, it's not where Hull play Premiership.
It holds 12,000.
Yeah. It's small. It's a rugby league ground. Yeah.
And then obviously they'll have people on the pitch.
Yeah. No, I think it's Campbell will win easy, like you guys, but maybe go a bit longer, 6-7 rounds. I think. Yeah, I mean, Coyle's not much good, is he? Really? Let's be honest. He makes a fun fights, and I always want to watch his fights because he's always getting chinned. But he's got some heart, so he'll make it a good fight, like Hamada said. But I'm looking forward to it. Big
All right.
hard.
Ari, you picking Carson Jones in the rematch over Brian Rose?
Yeah. You know, everyone knows I've never rated Rose. He's had too many close decisions, and I don't see. Again, it's kind of like how I feel Lee Saunders. I don't see how he survives 12 if Jones is hurting you like that in the first fight. Even though you cry about a ref, I don't see you lasting 12 because Rose has got nothing to hold them off with, and we've seen Carson Jones give Brooks' hardest fight. The first fight. So Carson Jones is a guy. He knows how to pressure, and I don't see Rose handling it, and he must really get knocked out again. And I'll be the end of Rose, to be honest, and I really don't care. Because, Rose is pointless, really.
Okay, Hamada?
Yeah, man, I think Carson Jones is going to knock him out again. But I hope Ian John Lewis is the ref.
I'm your referee.
I hope he's the ref, man. He needs to make up for his mistake in that fight. But I just think, man. I don't know, man. I think if Jones can hurt him like he did in the last fight, I just don't see how Rose is going to survive. I wonder how Holding and if Jim Watt's there this weekend, I wonder how they're going to be. You know what I'm trying to say? Because do you remember the last time they were talking about Rose and how he's put on so much muscle?
His back's looking big.
Yeah, look at his back. Look at his back, Jim.
Yeah.
I need to soundbite that.
Yeah. So let's see if they're gonna come with that talk again.
Leon, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm torn. I think Rose might win this, because he hurt him in that first fight. So there's a chance. I think it was a 50-50 fight because Jones has had some other losses, hasn't he, since he lost to Brook that last time. So I don't know. I can't pick.
No, I don't think he's lost since.
No,
He fought.
He fought Shannon Miller after the second Brook fight and beat him by third round TKO out of 6 rounds, and then he fought Brian Rose. So yeah, he's not lost since the second Brook fight. But he's had inactivity.
Fuck it, damn! I'm picking Rose. Fuck it, I don't care.
I think
I don't care about this fight anyway.
I think Jones will win, but maybe on points. I don't think that might be a stoppage, even though both guys got hurt, and obviously Rose was very hurt in the first fight. I think Rose is going to be a lot more cautious. He's going to have the high guard, and I don't think he's going to catch as many shots clean. I think the ring might be a bit bigger, tailored to Rose maybe. I don't think ring size will be an issue for the Campbell-Coyle fight, so I think Eddie Hearn will make it a bit bigger for that fight, because it is actually a quite intriguing fight just because of the way the first one ended. So I'm kind of looking forward to that fight,
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go Rose by robbery. Definitely, that's gonna be my pick.
I think it's all right. It's an all right fight, but I wouldn't say I'm excited for it because it's just bullshit, man. I'm not even gonna watch this on Saturday. I'm sorry, man.
No, man, you have to, Ari.
I'm gonna watch it on Sunday. I'm not gonna watch it on Saturday. There's a lot better things.
Come on, man. They don't like each other.
They hate each other. Come on. Don't you feel the hate?
Didn't you see the face-off?
Campbell knocked Brazilian out in 5-6 rounds, man, and Coyle went life and death with him. So need to get some crickets. All right, what are you guys writing in the chat?
So I'm watching old reruns of Tuesday night fights from America in the 80s, and there's about 10 times more people at this fight on a Tuesday night back then than there was at a Frank Warren card on Friday on a Tuesday night. Boxing is falling apart, isn't it? Sorry.
That was a bit random, Neil.
Reminiscing.
You were like
fighters I'm watching.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ari and Hamada, what are you guys writing in the chat there? Talking about Brook.
Oh.
Yeah, perfect for you, man. Anything to shit on Brook, innit?
I don't even bring it up, man.
Cam just wants to shit on Brook.
No, I don't like. I only like talking about stuff that's possibly confirmed. So, is that confirmed or what?
No, it's not confirmed.
All right, I'll save it to next week then.
Yeah, I remember Van Heerden putting out a tweet apparently that he got a contract for a big fight. People tried to be smart and try and link it to Kell Brook, but apparently Hearn said that's not the case. But Hearn's lied to us before, so.
Is there any word on Brook's next opponent?
Nah, not yet.
All right, we'll leave that for next week.
What about the Fury Klitschko press conference?
Oh, that was quite entertaining, man. What did you guys actually think of? Do you think Vlad was trying to antagonize him a bit? Because from the clips I saw, Fury was quite calm on that until Vlad started kind of digging him a bit, kind of poking the line. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he went fishing. He definitely went fishing.
Yeah,
Vlad wanted him to do that because he wants it to sell well, and obviously it's in a stadium, so he wanted it to sell well, and it was on German TV at the time when the presser was going on. I don't know if they did it live because Fury was
swearing and stuff.
Yeah,
going off the deep end.
Vlad won that because Fury was calm, and then Vlad got up there and started shitting on him a little bit. So obviously Fury went into his mode, and once Fury starts, he doesn't stop.
I don't know. I thought it was a bit sly of Vlad as well, saying some stuff in German as well. I thought that was a bit.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Nah, but I think it was getting translated. I remember Fury telling, I think he had a German translator.
True, but if
on
you
this-
can
on this
speak
side of the
English
table.
and your opposition's English, then just say it in English. It looks a bit, I don't know, sly saying it in German. And then, because I did see Fury say to the translator, what did he say? And then obviously he told him what he said.
Yeah,
But
'cause saying stuff in German, people are laughing. And obviously he doesn't know what he's saying.
yeah, exactly. It's a bit. I don't know.
Fury went in though. He definitely went in on him though.
That comment about the clit getting licked, man.
There was a few other things he said, like
that was
stuff like,
epic.
"Oh, you signed a new 5-year TV deal. When I knock you out, I'm gonna take your TV deal." he was on top form.
But Fury's knocking him out.
I can't wait for that fight.
Calm down, Harry, bro. Calm down.
I'm about to get some crazy bonus points in the league.
That should be like 2 stars. That should be like triple points.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Do you think Fury's gonna knock him out though? Really?
Fury's knocking him out.
I don't know, man.
Watch.
I think Fury's best shot is to try get a decision.
He can't get a decision in Germany.
You have to kill a man to get a decision over there.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think he can knock out. Like, I don't even think Fury carries that much pop, man.
You don't need much pop. You can buzz this man with a jab.
Nah, man, Vlad.
We've seen it. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna. I'm picking Fury because I'm repping the flag, but it's gonna be a close fight. I mean, I know it's a chance it might be a bit boring, but it's gonna be. I'm very excited about it. It's the fight I'm most hyped about this year.
All I'm going to say is, as long as Fury listens to Peter, and he's not in one of his bad moods, he's got it.
I want Fury to win as well. I mean, I can't stand Vlad. Vlad's a nasty piece of work. But that's for another time.
Nah, man. Vlad's
And
got
also,
this.
as long as he doesn't get that hate treatment of getting sent out in the middle of a crowd.
Oh, he's going to get that. He's definitely going
If
to
he
get that.
gets that, then alright. I'm saying it right now. If he gets that, he ain't winning. That's my disclaimer.
They're going to do everything to him. Don't you know how the Klitschko's work? Don't you remember what they were doing to Chisora and that with the hand wraps? They mess you about, man. The Klitschko's in a little sly way. They're not vocal. They're not rude to you. They try to, they come off as these great professionals, but behind the scenes, they do some bullshit. Trust me, man. They'll probably like when Fury lands at the airport, they'll drive Fury around for 5 hours before they take him.
That's
to
what
the
I did to
hotel.
David Hay, isn't it? A 3-hour drive or something, wasn't it? Hay or one of those guys.
Yeah, that's what they
Well,
do.
he should have got his own taxi then.
They do those kind of things.
Get your own car. Rent a car out.
Yeah, I think Peter Fury's going to be too clever for that shit, man. I think
Yeah,
they'll be in Germany a lot earlier. They'll probably have a little mini camp there just before the fight and stuff. So, like Peter, I got a lot of respect for Peter. He's got a good trainer's mind. Whenever he has camps, you know, he kind of always takes his guys away from the family so they can just kind of get in the zone. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think maybe, like you guys are saying, during the fight, during the build-up, like the whole walk-in entrance, I think they might try some slick shit. But, you know, if it is what it is, man. If you're a professional, then you should kind of overcome it. It shouldn't be an issue.
They don't want to try too much slick shit with his travelling fans, man. That could get ugly quickly.
Yeah, that could backfire. But
yeah,
they're
going to trap. There's going to be a lot of people. I think he'll take a lot of fans with him. You know.
I want Kev's opinion on this fight. Yo, Kev, like, if you had to pick today, like, who would you favour?
Sorry, I was on mute. I don't know if my service is any good, but I'd pick Klitschko.
Yeah, I'm picking Klitschko.
I don't know. I've watched a couple of the fights you guys told me to watch of the guy, but I don't know. I've never been impressed by the guy. So I'm not super high on Klitschko, but I just think he's beaten better guys and he's been around. So let's see what happens when Fury gets hit with a hard right hand early. Like, let's see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
Difficult to hit though, Fury. He's difficult to hit.
Yeah, and everybody keeps bringing up that Cunningham shit. But
yeah, that's bullshit,
anybody
man.
could get caught and get hurt in a random fight. Like, it's happened before. Guys with
That was
iron
years
chins.
ago as well.
Yeah, like Kovalev, he took a fall on like a bullshit fucking hit, and you know what I mean? I wouldn't really question his chin. He took big shots from Pascal and didn't back up. So
Fury was clowning.
Yeah, shit like
Again,
that
that's
happens.
that's why we mention his uncle, who's his trainer, a lot, because his uncle wasn't in that fight. He
Yeah.
wasn't there at that fight, and Fury was taking the
You know,
mick. He was
that's what
trying
I
to show
hate
off.
the most about boxing fans. Like, if you get dropped, it's like they hold that against you for the rest of your life. Like, oh yeah, but Cunningham dropped you. Like, it happens.
Yeah, and I think, but the one thing I do think of is like sometimes when you're used to clowning around or not taking shit serious or whatever it may be, and then you get in a situation where it's serious business for 12 rounds and you're not used to it, you might gas out or tire up or just not have the mental capacity to put up with that. And I think one thing about Vlad, I don't think his chin improved as much as mentally just got better and mentally stronger, and he pays more attention. You know what I mean? So I never really liked him because I found most of his fights boring, but he's perfected that way of winning where it looks like shit, but gets the job done. And I think until somebody beats him, I'm picking with him.
I agree.
I hope Fury wins, though, because he's the type of attitude that he could come over to the States and get people riled up and fired up. I mean, I'm not comparing him to Conor McGregor, but like the similar way that, he has his own unique style and he talks, that I think it'll attract fans to watch him. And I think that's a good thing where people in the States, even though Klitschko did do big ratings over here, so I guess people do care about him. So I guess that would make Fury even bigger star if he knocks Klitschko out or beats him.
Yep. All right. Any last things before we get some final thoughts? Anything you guys read or seen anywhere?
What about Hopkins wants Abraham, doesn't he? That's what he's coming out with. That came out on Boxing Scene earlier.
I don't even listen to what B-Hop says anymore, to be honest.
He's a mad bastard, isn't he?
Wait, is it? That's what I got to say. Is it me or is Hopkins sounding a bit slower?
Bit slurry.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but he's always been like, he's one of those guys who's
he's a mumbler.
Like Tyson. He's uneducated, but thinks he's smart, kind of type of thing. So he always gets himself in trouble when he talks
clear.
too long.
He talks clear though, and on the HBO commentary, I thought he was kind of fumbling a bit. Sometimes.
Yeah, when he commentates, I think he gets a little nervous too, and he goes off on tangents and he speaks a little weird. But yeah, you're right. He's taken way more shots, starting with that Pascal fight.
I think the Kovalev fight's done it.
Yeah, but starting from the Pascal fight, like he was getting hit a lot. You know what I mean? So that's not a good thing. He spent his whole career ducking and getting out of the way of punches, and now he's been getting hit.
All right.
That's what happens when you turn 50, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't be fighting, man. The guy's made and saved enough money. Get the fuck out.
Do you think he's worried that he might go mad if he doesn't have boxing in his life? Like the training?
Nah, because, you could still train just without fucking sparring and fighting,
That's true.
You could stay around the gym. Like, he's a presence. People want him around. People like listening to him talk. So he could stay around the gym all he wants. Ain't no one forcing him out. He has the promoters, so he's always around and involved. It's not like he's getting thrown out of the game. He's still there.
You're right. He should just get out.
His legacy's set and sealed, Beating Arthur Abraham's not going to make it better, and losing to him is not going to make it worse.
Great.
Yeah, it does nothing for him, does it?
Yeah, you could see the Kovalev thing. If he came out and beat Kovalev somehow, that would have been like, Jesus, this guy really is a fucking mad scientist or something. But what else can he do unless he would beat a Triple G or something like that, which ain't going to happen.
Yep. All right, let me get some final thoughts. Hamada, you got any final thoughts for me?
Yeah, just one. Basically, I saw that Carl Frampton did some good numbers on ITV. Went up from his last one was 1.1 average and 1.9 peak. Now he went up from 1.7 average to 2.4 million peak, which is a good sign. Hopefully ITV stay in boxing because it's free.
And that was at like 11 p.m. So
yeah,
that's good.
And there was no match of the day, Ari, your favourite show.
Yeah.
That's why so many people. That's why there's so many people watching it.
Yeah.
Were those figures better than the US figures?
Yeah, it was.
They were.
Which is very surprising, seeing as though, the amount of population here and over the States as well.
Was that
People in America just don't watch boxing anymore, man. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, because that was 7 times more than what Andre Ward got his last fight. Wasn't it, though? That's ridiculous. And that was free TV with more people living over there.
Yeah, but to be fair, there was like 3 cars on that weekend.
Their fault.
And wasn't the Broner Porter on NBC?
Yeah.
And then Lemieux and Dam, I know that one. Yeah, that was on Fox Sports or something like that. I think. Yeah. Hamada's right. I just don't understand these viewers. So obviously, boxing's not very big over there. It's just simple as that. And it don't matter what channel they put it on. It's not popping. I already thought the Furman fight would have done better. That's on ESPN. It's not doing it. So
but it's like Kev says every week. We're the same fans watching the same. Really,
and the
with
States,
just a little 20% extra, maybe.
They're not getting the guys who are channel hopping.
And the States have had so many big sports, apart from boxing, in the UK, we only really have, like, football, and some people watch rugby, and, what I mean? It's...
Yeah, but cricket and all that, and cricket's big, but most of these things happen in a day as well, don't they? So it's especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other sports on, really, at 10 p.m. over here.
On a weekend, really.
True.
Yeah, but right now is not even football season. Like, once these fights go up against college football or NFL, like, they're going to get crushed. Like, right now, the CBS cards that are on Sunday daytime or whatever, Saturday daytime, like, that goes out the window from September to January because that's all college football and
so
NFL.
They won't get, there'll be no space for them to have a fight on.
Exactly, because they just won't, nobody's going to watch. And like they said, when you look at all the numbers, like Spike TV and all that, like you just said, I said it all the time. It's the same fans,
Yeah.
It's only NBC Primetime that's doing more than the norm, innit?
Exactly. They're doing more than the norm, and they've already dropped off something like 33% since their first show. So, they started at like that 3.4 max, and now they're at like whatever the average for the last the Broner fight was only like 2.3 or something like that, which basically Canelo on HBO did the same amount.
But it's funny that they're obviously Heyman's building these idea of all these cards around casual fans, right? Because he knows he's already got boxing fans. And he's taken away all the things that casual fans like ring girls, mad entrances, shit talking. It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. At least with Eddie Hearn, he knows how to get a casual in, and that he knows that's how to boost figures. You get casuals involved, right? But Heyman's done a weird job with that.
To
I'm
be
not shitting
fair,
on him. I just don't understand it.
It's going to take a long time, though, because casual's been so turned off for so long that he's got to somebody's going to have to do something drastic to turn it. I just don't think it's ever going to turn. I just think boxing's always going to be a niche sport. And what I think is hurting the ratings is he has so many shows. So it's like you could miss this week because next week something's coming on. And if you have no investment in either fighter, it's just a show. It's just like another episode of a sitcom. Like, oh, shit's on every week anyway. I'll catch it next week. I'll catch 2 episodes. So HBO, who's not having a good year and still giving shit cards, is doing great ratings compared to PBC, and they're doing less. So it's like when this comes up, it's like, fuck, there hasn't been a fight in a month, so I'm going to watch it, And then next month now, it's just they're flooding the market without a great product. It's not like the NFL where every game has so much fan interest on fantasy football and gambling, so everybody's watching. There's no reason to watch unless you're invested in the fighter, and no one's coming invested in the fighters.
I think the Floyd Manny fight gave boxing a huge kick in the nuts, man. 4.4 million people bought that, man. I mean, there hasn't been one NBC card that's had 4.4 million. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think the casuals they're not happy with boxing at the moment.
And it cracks me up when everybody was complaining, like, all these guys talking negative about the sport, but that's what the fans were saying on Twitter. Like, is ESPN supposed to lie and say it was an entertaining fight and it was a great night for boxing when 80% of the people tweeting them are saying it was fucking horrible? I wish I never did it. That's why boxing sucks. Like, so what are they supposed to do? Lie? And they was like, they're killing the sport. I'm like, no, the fight killed the sport. You can't have people come on and say, what a great event, what a great fight, when 70%, 80% of the people tweeting them were saying it was shit,
Yep.
If that fight came out and that fight was a great fight, it didn't even have to be like a Hearns Hagler. If it was a Hagler Leonard type fight, you know, that it would have done a lot for the sport. But it's fucking awful.
Even Rob Palmer says in the chat that's just 4.4 million buys. On average, they had about 12 people watching each buy. So it's probably
the amount of eyeballs and people watching that fight.
It's crazy.
Exponentially large.
Where do you get that? I wonder where he gets that number from. 12.
Well, you got to figure, like, people like me, there's fight parties all over. No one's paying $110 without having a group of people over. Maybe it might not be 12, but there's at least 5-6 people watching the fight at a house. It's not one person sitting there watching.
No, I get that. Yeah, I get that. But 12 seems like a random number. Anyway.
But if you factor in all the bars that got the fight, you know what I mean? And there's hundreds of people at the bar, so.
Yeah, it's true.
And it was a mega event. Like, I would wonder if that fight was on free TV, if it would do Super Bowl like numbers. I would, seeing damn near 5 million pay-per-view buys, who knows if that would have done 40 million people on CBS or NBC. Could have been nuts.
It could have been really and truly, yeah.
That was a monster event. It just fell flat.
Don't worry, they got Bertos. There'll be about 2. Yeah, I mean, that's a stupid fight try and put on there. Anyway.
Hey, Cam, I think Rob wants to get back on quickly to back up that statement.
Getting him on as we speak. Mr. Palmer.
What's up?
What do you want to say?
No, basically about the 12 people for each view. I work in film and TV out here. That's what I do. Like, all day I just speak to, when I'm not on the coalition, I'm speaking to like film studios, TV networks, people from there. I'm meeting these people every day. So basically what they're trying to introduce a technology called pay-per-viewer. And instead of charging you like a flat fee, like what they did for Mayweather Pacquiao, where they charged $100, they'll charge you $10 for every person that's watching. And they think that they can make more money that way. And that's what the guy told him. He said when based on their, like, the whatever kind of research they did, that they found that on average 12 people were watching in each place.
They'd have to police everyone's house.
Well, they've got the technology where they can monitor it. Like, to be honest, the way you described it to me, I was like, that ain't gonna work. People aren't gonna be happy with it because.
Well, no, they're not gonna be able to. They have to look into your house.
Technology. You're talking about them smart TVs that are spying.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why.
But that would cost them a fortune to run that in everyone's house at that time.
No, but not if they think they're going to make more money from pay-per-view.
I know. I've worked in. I mean, I've heard some stuff. I work in TV and advertising and stuff as well, and I've heard of some crazy ideas, but that's the maddest one I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
Yeah, I thought
they've only just got voice recognition for reporting. Anyway, that's boring shit.
TVs are spying in your house, man. That's why I was gonna buy one, but then I remember I saw. I can't remember what I read. I saw a red sign.
Yeah, but they'd have to be watching everyone. They'd have to have people watching everyone's. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Technical.
You're right.
I mean, it's not like a camera. It's just like a monitor that will be able to detect like how many people are in a room at a certain time, and it will calculate it. No, they're not going to have like somebody literally watching.
I don't think they'd legally be allowed to do it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd be surprised what these companies can get away with. But on the PBC as well, I spoke to a guy from NBC Sports, and he was basically explaining to me that they are, in general, happy with the PBC viewers. Like, they think it's doing better than expected, and that the feedback that they've got has been good. But he was explaining that boxing needs to get 1.5 viewers to equal the advertising that one viewer would get for just a regular show or other sports, because advertisers don't want to associate themselves with boxing. And he was basically explaining to me that boxing is not cool and kind of edgy enough to be like UFC and attract the advertisers that MMA and UFC get, but it's not clean cut enough to get the kind of advertisers that other sports get. It's in the middle, so it's stuck. And that's kind of why I think Heyman's trying to go the other way with trying to make PBC all clean cut and that kind of thing.
Yeah, then that's never going to work.
Yeah, I don't see it as well.
They're never going to get it. I mean,
they should do
advertising people, brand people are worried about eyes on the company. So if the figures are good, they'll get the brands. I wouldn't be worried about that personally.
They should do what Vince McMahon did, make it like the Attitude Era. Just turn up the volume 100 times. Make every fighter just completely out there and crazy, and tables, ladders, chairs, boxing matches.
At least do something, because trying to gentrify it isn't working.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, Rob. Cheers. Leon, did I get your final thoughts? Can't remember now.
Don't worry about it.
Ari, any final thoughts?
Nah, let's get out of here.
All right. Thank you to everyone on the show today. Thank you to the people in the chat. And thank you to the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically burn you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos Argentina, la concha de su madre. I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.